Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Hello, hello. Oh, man, Twiz, thank you for the Prime sub. Woo! How's that? Oh, man, I gotta tell y'all, I'm in a rough, rough spot. This weekend, Twiz was there. This weekend was like the first time that the bros have kicked it in like a little while, right? So we drank a bit, far more than I'm used to, and I was hungover all day yesterday, and am like barely a human today. Yes, here, let me bring up my MS Paint. Look, there it is. Hello, wow, hello everybody. Thank you for the energy. I certainly need it. I really appreciate it. Oh, I did see that Shirley got her own follower mod. It's so cool. I should really test it out. I would like to try it. She is such a delight. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so just bear with me. I'm a little bit, slow today, you might say, but we'll get to everything in due time. First and foremost, for everybody who is a quick hello to all of you. Thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it. There's some crazy energy in chat right now. I love it. Ragavar, you're probably right. I am dead a lot of the time. I need to find a better way to work without draining all my energy and keeping a better balance. But this time, at the very least, it's fair to say, I think, that the hangover is largely the cause. Charmbarian, how you doing, brother? Thanks for joining us. Anyway, for the VOD viewers, we'll jump into the roadmap real fast. I redid the roadmap to use a different font than Comic Sans. And as you can see here, my God, the NPCs are finally done. Thank gosh. I am very thrilled to be done with that phase. It was very time consuming. It was fun, but also monotonous. I'm just happy that it's done. I was like doing the math, and I think we went through something like 1,500, maybe give or take 100 or so variants of NPCs. So it was quite a lot. But they're done now, so that's pretty cool. Hashtag bring back Comic Sans. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so the NPCs are done. There's like 30 or so NPCs out of 900 that have something slightly incorrect about their plugin data, but that's really easy to fix. That's like an hour. Thanks to the brilliant Xedit script. Shout out to the Xedit script that scans all your NPCs and tells you if any of them have incorrect data for like tinted face bugs. So that's really cool. So what that means for the sake of progress, that means that now automating MCMs is kind of the big one. I'm doing pretty much both the testing and the automating MCMs kind of in tandem. NPCs takes way longer than MCMs, right? No, that should be the case. Thank you, Aosana. Yes, Darkface Issue Reporter. It's beautiful. The automating the MCMs should not take nearly as long as going through all the NPCs, because there's not that many. It just depends on how well it works, right? Because I'm very much a rudimentary coder at best. Thankfully, MCMs generally could be described as rudimentary code. It's pretty simple to understand them and like how they function, how they establish their default values. But as we've discussed in the other streams, every mod author kind of has their own method or their own particularities when it comes to creating MCMs. So because each one is not boilerplate, I can't say that just because it's taken me this long to get through, X MCMs, that'll be the same for all the rest of them, which I guess is kind of fits the NPCs well too. But there's not nearly as many MCMs to get through as there are like characters to check and recheck and yada yada yada. I'm glad it's Jack's. It makes me excited too. I like the introduction of the roadmap. That was Liz's idea. Team Liz, not my wife Liz. We really got to come up with a good way to differentiate the two of them. Because I like the visual marker of progress. That helps me a lot too. Are you going to be borrowing any? Yeah, Aosana, I would love to. I know that Zanza already gave me an automated MCM for Nether's follower framework, which it's great because that's one of the more complex ones. But yeah, I mean, basically any ones that are, you know, kind of there already, I will definitely look into. Thanks very much, Bambi. Thanks for stopping by. So yeah, so automated, let me go into a little bit kind of what these mean. So more testing. You guys know what automating MCMs is. So testing, this is like our internal testing, my internal testing. You could kind of addend that to like, it's testing, it's polishing. It includes things like probably what we'll do for at least part of today is like a performance pass, right? So since we have a lot of the cities, all the major cities are in like the open world space, and they're all, you know, enhanced with a million different decorations and stuff. What we're essentially doing for that effort is going through, marking kind of superfluous references, objects, things that we can get rid of for both aesthetics and also performance reasons. So that would be testing. That also includes like bug fixing. Like there's a couple bugs that I know of that are still in need of fixes. So we're going to be, you know, going through those and trying to solve those. And basically it's like, you know, just walking around the world and making sure that everything is working properly, and you know, checking to see if anything jumps out at us for fixing. I feel like that kid in class who is obviously Todd says you get 10 FPS, take it or leave it. Well, I you know, how dare I defy Todd. An MCM Ragavar is excuse me, I'm dripping from my mustache. Disgusting. It's a mod configuration menu. It basically refers to the in-game settings for mods, right? The automation of MCMs essentially is like, so there's a script here. I'll just show you really fast. I mean, that basically covers. Anyone got any other questions about the roadmap? If not, I'll go ahead and minimize it here. Or if you do, please feel free to let me know and I will bring it back up and we can talk about it. Let me open up an MCM script so you can see exactly, where do I have it now? Here, Alt Sky, Dev, SSE, here we go. What would be a good one? Let's go to Requiem. Requiem's got one. Go scripts, source, Requiem. I believe it's like game mechanics in here, core scripts. They're MCM. Here we go. So if I open this up, edit with Notepad, right? So if you look at this, this is a script, hello plot, that defines all of, not only the MCM itself, you know, what you can kind of adjust and change within it, but also what the default values are. So you'll see like here, well, for each one of these, I think you would call this a function. This is a function. I don't know what you'd call this, like a button, initiative, whatever. So you can see that for each setting, basically, is like what these are, right? For each setting, the Requiem script is defining what you can do when you open up the little slider. What is this? Hours to respawn cell cleared. So this is a slider. It says, hey, how many hours do you want it to require before a cell respawns and has enemies in it again, right? So that's the purpose of all these. The on slider open ST shows you this is what the slider will allow you to do, right? So it's game setting int hours to respawn. I guess that's dividing it by a float of 24 for its own internal reasons, but you can see it gives you a range from 10 to 365. Here's the interval that you can kind of scroll along. Makes, you know, here's what happens when you hit accept, and here's what we are primarily interested in, which is like, what is the default value going to be when you open the MCM and you don't adjust anything at all? Because that's going to be that's the goal. The goal is to not have users have to mess around with this stuff at all, so that you can just, start the game and play like you can any other game. That's a lot, Aosana. Hello, Zerpy. Progress is going well enough. I mean, in my mind, I'd always like it to go faster, but I'm trying to be a little gentler on myself. I think that your settings would be the settings that you'd want for other players, but can't you just copy paste them? Well, I mean, this is the closest thing to copying and pasting that we can do, Ragavar. What I essentially have to do is include, you could do it a couple different ways, but what I think is cleaner is that I will be taking a copy of this script, including it with the ultimate Skyrim files. They will have the adjustments that I need to make in order to what you would essentially describe as copying and pasting, the correct settings. And then that's what's going to load the correct settings into the game whenever someone else, goes to play. Hey there with Open City. Oh, hold on. Someone asked about Open City's patches up above. Has it been? Yeah. Mike Forlock, have you had to create custom patches for Open Cities? Basically, yes. It's not so bad, though. There's a lot of tools. There's one tool in particular. It's an Xedit script that is just brilliantly done, as far as I can tell, that just kind of scans for things that are in the original world spaces, right, and brings them into the Open Cities, like Tamriel world space. That's really nice. That makes it a lot easier to patch things for Open Cities. And I promise you that there will be things in the initial release that still need to be patched for Open Cities that we've missed. That's like a big, there's going to be, I guarantee there's going to be bugs or things that are not exactly the way that they're supposed to be in the initial release. So that's why it's the beauty of testing that we all get to do. To answer the other question, with Open Cities, are you going to implement some kind of levitation spell or mechanic? Maybe. What is that? Albert LB, maybe as far as levitation goes, but in a general sense, yes to mechanics that allow you to traverse the world vertically. That's kind of a big reason for the Open Cities world spaces. It's like why I bothered to do it, really, and what excites me about it is that I really want people to be able to climb all around, on top of buildings and all around on the walls and underneath through the sewers and yada yada. And you can see how something like a levitation mechanic would fit into that. The reason I say maybe is just because I've not seen any implementations of levitation myself, like out there. Maybe we'd have to make our own. But it's a strong maybe. The opportunity and the framework for it is definitely there. Right, and that is true. Aosana's point about when I'm talking about this script being super useful for patching things like for Open Cities, I'm generally referring to like NPC references or like decorations, placements like that. If you tried to say, if there was a whole building that was added to, we'll call it Solitude, within the original like separated world space, and then you try to bring that into the Open Cities world space, you would have a building that is not part of the nav mesh. NPCs would have no idea that it's there. They probably wouldn't be able to get into the building because it wouldn't be connected to the nav mesh. So that kind of stuff is pretty tough. I do not have a GitHub, but we do have, what are some ways to report bugs and issues? So I don't, like right now we have an issue reporter section, bug report section on the Discord. I think that I'll need to sit down with the support team and kind of listen to them about what they think the best way to go about that would be. I think it only makes sense to expand our bug reporting framework for the initial release, right? That is, I think, a sensible way to go about it, because I just think that right now, I mean, maybe they prefer exactly as it is right now. I just am gonna defer to them. Soaring over Skyrim, that reminds me of soaring over California. How playable do you think the initial release of SE when compared to? Well, it depends on what you mean by reaching LE. It's Jax, but I think that the first version of Special Edition will be just as playable. I think it's barring any sort of like major game-breaking bugs, which I have not encountered, but I also haven't done smoke testing for like the quest lines and stuff. it really should be like a playable experience, just one where you might encounter bugs, and there might be like, you know, quest line breaking bugs that we will need to sweep up. But otherwise, like, I think it's pretty much an improvement on Legendary. It really depends on like what particular part you're talking about. Like if you're talking about some of the quest mods that are on Legendary Edition that are not on Special Edition, like, you know, oh my god, what's it called? Undeath. You wouldn't be able to play that because that's not there, but the rest of the game is pretty intact and expanded. Yeah, Levitation is a possibility for sure, just because the, you know, a big impetus for the open cities was the vertical space, you know what I mean? It was all born out of, I think I went through this on like one of the streams, but it's pretty obscure. There was I was testing Palaces and Castles Enhanced, right? The one that adds a bunch of stuff to all the different castles in the major cities. And I was in Riften, and I walked out of Mistvale Keep, and there was like a new balcony that wasn't there. It was like a balcony coming from like a noble's house. And I saw how the balcony pretty much extended right to like the city wall, and that if it were a, you know, a real world environment and you weren't kind of locked into the world space the way you are in Skyrim, you would totally be able to like jump off onto the wall and then like scale the other side of or like jump down from the wall and like run off into the wilderness, right? And at that moment I was like, fuck, how cool would it be if you could actually do that? What if this little balcony that I'm standing on was either an entrance or an exit into like the Jarl's palace? I just thought the idea of that was so cool. And I've also watched like Sacroletius go through his like major cities, right? All the patching that he's done. And there's so many, like Riften in particular was so impressive to me. Really, Sacroletius's personal edits of like all the major cities are super cool. But one of the most impressive ones to me was Riften, because there were all these, you know, he's like included a bunch of overhauls and his own custom edits that had just like rope ladders like up to rooftops and like little thing. It was almost like Assassin's Creed in that there were all these different ways to kind of like navigate the city on top of the city instead of like down in the streets. I thought that was so cool, and I wanted to do something like that while also having it in the open cities world space. Demon Corp, that is always how it goes. Hey Osana, it's not that Undeath does not have like good patches and stuff, it's just that it's not part of the scope of the OG this release. Playing with the mods, Fire Forget version of channeling, give preference to what you like. You're talking about like buffs. Like my ideal implementation of buffs, at least like in theory, would be something like how Path of Exile works, or like many other action RPGs, where like I don't personally find it super fun to like constantly recast my buffs, right? It's not so bad if the buff durations are like extended significantly, so that would be okay. Then it's kind of like a skill thing where it's like I gotta remember to, you know, do my buffs, cast them all, and then you don't have to worry about it for, you know, what, like an hour, 2 hours or something. But in Skyrim, I find that generally speaking, a lot of the buffs that are annoying to constantly recast are annoying because the durations are so low. So if it were me, I'd almost prefer an implementation where it's like it reserves like a section of your magic, right? So, you know, you want to cast mage armor, normally your magicka bar is this big, and then it has like just like a little bit that's kind of locked at like the very top. Yeah, it's like 60-second buff duration on a cloak. A cloak is a little different because a cloak is like an offensive tool in a way. It's, you know, like a battle mage will toss it, like a fire cloak or frost cloak, shock cloak. Those are actually pretty dangerous spells, and that is one that you actually, I mean, it could work through the same mechanics, you know, you just kind of maintain it versus like have to constantly recast, but those are dangerous. So that's about one of the only ones where it kind of makes sense to me. I'm talking about stuff like mage armor, feather fall, you know, stuff that you want, or even if you have some of like the weather survival, like, you know, unless that's what you meant by cloak, that stuff to me can be implemented through that other method. Oh boy, I know. Just please bear with me. I'll be rehydrating as I go on this stream. I was originally talking about levitation, fire and forget versus channeling. As in, you mean like you hold down a button for levitating, right? So it's like if I'm holding down left click, I'm levitating. If I let go, I drop a little bit, and then if I recast it, that's what you're talking about? Where the mage armor spells just reduce your max magicka. When they cost free, reduce cost, and then draw damage reduction from your magicka. Oh, that's a really cool implementation, Charmbarian. I think both have pros and cons. It's cool to know that the former implementation exists. If I may ask, does it also have like a visual indicator of how much of your magicka is locked away? Because that's what I've always wanted. I've found mods that implement this kind of thing, but it's usually like there's no visual like player feedback indicator in the ones that I've seen, where the max magic, it's like the magicka bar still like fills to full, and you kind of have to remember that full in this case is still less because some of it's being locked off, which is like, I don't know, it's fine, you know what I mean? Like, it's totally functional. It's just kind of like from a UX player feedback perspective, it would be really fun to have that other bit. No, you can totally post a link, Aosan. At least I think you can. I don't think that our bots are like super, or at least every time I try to post a link it works, and I've seen other people do it. Yeah, Ragavar, those Infinity Engine scripts. Even that, it's like if you can select, it's like I want this, spell to be auto casted. Even that to me it's like getting into micromanagement. It's not a bad implementation by any means. I just like, I like the idea of, it's like, all right, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor. I see that this much of my magicka is locked away, and there we go. I started to say this. It's like yesterday. Liz and I, my wife Liz, went to have a board game picnic with some friends, and I was like chugging Pedialyte the whole time before it, just to try and like be a person for the sake of this picnic. And I noticed that the more I spoke, the more dehydrated I felt. I don't know if that's science, but that's certainly how it felt, and I guarantee that today is going to be the same. So just, y'all remind me to keep hydrating. I will keep hydrating myself, and I appreciate your patience because I do speak a lot during the streams. Vampire... Oh! Well, this is beautiful. Wow, it's really worth it just for this. I think that's Sinzel. No, it's not. Never mind. Wow. That is really cool. I love it. Is it flying or falling with style? Very, very cool. Whoa, look at this. Yeah, it's kind of weird that Vampire Lords can't fly by default, isn't it? Very cool. It reminds me, isn't there like a dragon aspect mod that does something similar? It'd be cool to add different ways to fly. The Flying Crows mod, I have not. Is it part of the Birds of Skyrim suite of mods? Alt Sky patched the Guard's Armor Replacer. Oh, yeah. This is Nordwar UA, the classic. Everyone loves these models. I really do too, to be honest. It's been I've still not yet decided if I'm going to replace the OG models, but I think there's a strong chance. I'll play around with them for sure. Yeah, it would be super cool to fly and do this Flying Crows SSE. Huh. Very cool. I like this. I imagine, yeah, if that was one of the issues with Birds of Skyrim, was that the birds actually were NPCs, or maybe it's not Birds of Skyrim. It's like there's like 3 different bird mods that are all, I think, by the same author. I'm not super clear on like what the distinction is, but I know one of them has birds that do count as actors and like NPCs in the game world, which can be pretty problematic from a performance standpoint. The effect is really cool though. Ooh, this looks like I think this is with the Windhelm. Either holds or one of the edits. This looks really cool. I'll add this to the download pile. How about that? I think these are, God, it's gotten to the point, in fact, I know they are. These pine trees are Book of the Dead trees. You know, it's really getting hanky when you start to identify, I feel like all the mod list authors I know at this point, we can all like identify tree models. It's like, oh, that's from here, that's from there. I'm sure Tronbarian is in that same boat. I know that you've been working on like a bunch of tree stuff. These are just movable statics. Perfect. All right, I'll download this, add it to the pile. Oh yeah, ESL, please. I've heard of that, Demon Corp. Patches in the customization guide. Gotcha plot. Thank you. Oh, it's Finn's patch. Doesn't levitation flying sort of break the game balance-wise? That is a definite concern. My biggest concern there will be like for dungeons, right? So it's tricky where there's definitely going to be some areas that you're not supposed to be able to get to. Obviously in dungeons, but probably in the overworld as well. I've not like thought about it that much. But some stuff we will have to address. Or like, I don't know. I'm definitely more of the Morrowind school of thought, right? Where I do like to plug exploits and like really unintended, like imbalanced mechanics. But I also do like to give players a certain degree of freedom. So yes. Aosana, textures are tough. Textures, like, I know that a lot of people, you know, spend a lot of time going through different texture mods. I have myself, but I don't think in that sense. I think telling different models apart is easier, right? Because it's like an actual shape versus like a texture. Sometimes certain textures I can be like, that texture's from this mod, but less, I would say. What do I plan on doing with mods that were in LE don't have an SE port? There are quite a few of those jacks that we just port ourselves, right? It's like fairly simple for a lot of LE mods. So like they're actually part of what I have to do in testing. I should include this as well, is like converting some of the form 44. I can't remember if it's form 44 that needs to be converted to 43 or vice versa, but something like that. We can do that relatively easily. For Atronach Crossing in particular and Cobb Positioner, those two are different. The coding complexity of David Cobb's mods, like they're very, very complex. That is not something that we can just easily port over. I've spoken to David like about it. I think at some point he would like to bring them over, but I know he's doing a lot of different stuff right now. So in the meantime, for the Positioner stuff, we have Jackson's Positioner. And placeable like furniture and stuff is actually an area where the SE version, at least initially, will be less. There's like no real mechanic for that, whereas obviously on LE we have Atronach Crossing. So with that, I'm kind of waiting to see what David's gonna do, but I'm also thinking about using what is it called? LVS Campfire Unleashed, which is a promising kind of placement mod, furniture mod and all that. It's just very extensive, so I don't think it fits the scope of this kind of like initial 0.1 release. Yes, I feel the same way, Ragavar. Okay, well, here, we added that to the download pile. Guards Armor Replacer, everyone knows about. Vampire Lords Can Fly. Let's go ahead and grab this one. This is the Levitate mod. Let's see here. There's a Fire and Forget spell versus having to channel it. Sure. Seems cool to me. I will check it out at the very least. Cool. Is this like... Right, CGO allows us to cast spells. There's so many cool things about CGO. I really need to like kind of edit that mod and then include it. For some of the balance things. Cool. Very, very cool. Alright, we'll throw this one on the download pile. There it goes. Oh yeah, this is a fun fact. Final Fantasy X was the first Final Fantasy that I played to completion. That was me and my stepbrother. We loved this game when it came out. I still remember when I played it for the first time. I rented it from, Blockbuster. I had played JRPGs before, but not enough to know the genre well. I think my first JRPG was probably Mario RPG on Super Nintendo. And then obviously Pokemon qualifies in a sense, but it's not, it's not one-to-one what you would kind of imagine when you say JRPG. What's your favorite Final Fantasy? Why is it 6 or Tactics? It might actually be Tactics Advance. I loved Tactics Advance. I must have played that for 100 hours. I don't think I ever beat it either. But I never played the OG Tactics on PS1. I never finished 7 either as a kid or as an adult in general at any point in my life. Final Fantasy X is probably my favorite. I mean, that makes the most sense because it's one of the few that I've, played enough to have an opinion there. I really like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, which is a very different kind of game. It's, it's pretty different from Final Fantasy. I played Final Fantasy X too, and it was I thought that the mechanical changes were cool. I was not as into the I don't even think the story was bad. You know what it was? It was just too sad. I found it very Final Fantasy X-2 is really, really quite sad. I mean, so is 10, I guess. Maybe I was just full up on all the sadness that I could stomach at that age. And I've never played 12, I've never played 13. 11 was actually my first, well, not my first MMO, because I dabbled in others, but it was one of the first MMOs that I played. You know what? Maybe it was. It would have been about the same time as RuneScape, and RuneScape was probably my first MMO. It's a trip down memory lane. Okay, you know what else I need to do that would probably help? I need to eat something. I had a handful of trail mix earlier, and that's not really enough. Not enough food. This is my Twitter feed. Hello. There you can see my Twitter feed. Okay. Let's go ahead and... Oh, no, there goes the music. I didn't make a separate window for it. Oh, well, we're going to jump in game anyway. Here's our beautiful mod organizer. And why don't we... Here, I'll crank up the volume a little bit so you guys can hear the beautiful desktop audio of Skyrim. And I need to adjust my display tweaks to go back into borderless full screen, because that way my second window won't get all donked. There we go. All right, well, shall we jump in? I know there's one bug that I want to smash right off the bat, and it's going to be a little bit tricky, actually. You guys can see, maybe you can help me out with this. Original FF7. Yeah, I mean, not playing Final Fantasy VII when I was a kid is definitely one of my my big gaming regrets, you might say. I have a lot of friends who really loved it. There's a lot of content creators who I really respect who very clearly this was, Final Fantasy VII was such a huge part of their gaming career. So I really wish that I had played it as a youth. Maxing all the characters. Did you also max Aerith? CP max. Final Fantasy 13 is the only... Finn, that's the one with lightning, right? The second one with lightning? Or was there is a sequel to 13? I don't remember. There's, you know how it is. For me, it was, Cisco, me as well. I remember renting Final Fantasy X, getting through the whole intro. That's 10 Praxis. I remember getting through just the whole intro sequence with Xanarkand and Auron and whatever, and being this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I just thought it was so rad. The gameplay was really unique to me. I thought the JRPG mechanics were super cool, but just dude, the setting. Oh my gosh, what a unique, cool, like like blitzball. I thought blitzball was like the coolest thing, like as a sport, right? I used to go. My neighbors had a pool, and we would play blitzball like as children. We would, like make believe and kind of like try to do our own. It's like, here's my signature move. Like, oh man, that was fun. And then I remember breaking blitzball at one point, like the gameplay of it. I can't remember exactly what I did, but I think it was like I leveled someone, maybe Titus's speed to like max, and it was like every single game I could just win by like getting the ball immediately and then just like breaking through um the defense of the opposing team and just like scoring a goal immediately. It's hard for me to even remember like how that played. I remember it like vaguely, but I remember like the animations for like the strikes. I don't know, I need to revisit. What an interesting thing to try and like add in, you know what I mean? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that would be not worth it, CP Max. It's like, what do you even, it's like you tell your friends, it's like, yeah, I maxed out Eris or Aerith or whatever her name is, and they're just like, why? It would still be cool, though, if you did it. I would be proud of you. Yeah, the story in Final Fantasy X, it was just, like, unlike anything I'd ever... It's, to date, I think, like something that, people who haven't played a ton of games or haven't played JRPGs, I think it's, like, an interesting thing to try and communicate is, like, imagine a story. I mean, you get it from, like, literature, these epic stories that, span just whatever the book story equivalent of, like, 100 hours of gameplay would be, right? Just the idea that there were these games that told these stories that lasted across that time frame. I was like, what the hell? Like, this is crazy. It was just really, really odd and really cool. Unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Okay, Skyrim. What do we got? Okay, we'll start a new character. Oh, I am haggard. I apologize, everybody. It's like I feel like I need hair of the dog. It's not good. It's not good to drink alcohol. It's poison for your body. It can be fun, and you will pay. Especially like, oh man, I'll be 30 at the end of this year. Yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. I have bananas, I think. Y'all, I'm gonna go get a banana. Let's let the mods initialize, and I'll get a banana in the meantime. Wish me luck. I hope we still have bananas anyway. Let's see. Banana to the rescue. Wine is poison. All alcohol is poison from a biological standpoint, and yet we drink it because it's fun and it tastes good. Depending, there's a lot of drinks that I like. I'm a big whiskey fan. I am not as versed in wine. I like wine well enough. I don't like the headache that it gives me. Wait. Drinking heavily is taking fun from tomorrow for today. That is a good way of putting it. Ha! Sips his wine. Of course. It's wonderful. In a sense. I got a question. Are you guys, you like whites? You like reds? You like rosés? Yes, bananas can be poison in large enough quantities if you eat the peel. Oh, yeah. I hear you, Barian. Never tried alcohol. Tried marijuana. Yeah, I mean, I totally feel you, Demon Corp. I think that I mean, sobriety is really great. You know what I mean? Kind of being on top of your senses and just being kind of clear, you might say, is a lot of fun too. Um, I don't know, everything in moderation, right? I love reds at whites. Yes, that's exactly how I feel, right? CB Max. I do like red wine. In fact, I would go so far as to say that I like red wine. I like the taste of it more generally than white, but it does me dirty every time. Like if anything's gonna give me like a hangover or a headache, that'll be it. Banana stream. Everyone, please, can I get a clap, a thank you for this banana that I'm sure is saving my life right now. Give me a name for this Nord adventurer. Moderation is key, which is why I'm only taking a little bit of these magic mushrooms I was gifted. Nice, Morlock. Hallucinogens. Now there's a wild thing. Banana Bob. I gotta go with Banana Bob. Oh wait, hold on. Can I change my skin? How closely can I make this character look like a banana? What do you guys think? High Elf. High Elf kind of has yellow skin. That's kind of like a banana. It's closer to a banana than the Nord. Oh, I can just kind of customize it anyway, can't I? That's like pretty close to a banana. I would say maybe a little bit more saturation, maybe a little bit more green versus orange, right? Bananamer. Hello, Chrome. Yes, Demon Corp. I know that very well. It's whenever. I mean, I don't want to get too deep into that discussion. You know, everyone has we all have our demons and our vices, but that's my own history. You know what I mean? It can all be. It's like just the second you start relying on substances because it's easy to fall into the hole. You know what I mean? Like being sober is hard a lot of the time. Life is hard. It's very stressful. We all have a million different pressures and problems, and it offers a reprieve in many senses, which I don't know. I think is appropriate sometimes, but it can be difficult. Okay, so his eyes are like not banana-y. You know what I mean? It like fits well ugh. Stay in drugs. Don't do school. We're doing great, Chrome. How about you? Solid Rust. I definitely have. You guys ever met or like I think a lot of people who drink. It was like I didn't drink that much in high school. I only went to like a couple parties. Just really like I wasn't cool enough to be invited to the parties where all the cool kids were drinking in high school. I was in college. I drank a lot. I went to a school where drinking is very prevalent. So drink a lot then. And now, like, I'm many years out of college. I still like the other day, right? It was just like me and the boys had quite a few drinks, but we just don't do it often, especially now, like with COVID, right? Like, it's been kind of a year of drinking way less, and so now when I do it again, it's like my body's like, "What are you doing to me? Why have you done this?" This is like, I mean, this is like a banana man, right? Like I think he's pretty good. You guys think of any quick edits to make him more like a banana, or are we're good with this guy? I think he's pretty solid. Don't rely on drugs or alcohol. Rely on banana. Return to monkey. Monkey. Much longer head. Oh yeah, I forgot. We have like face sculpt too. Okay, hold on. How about this? How does this work? I'm not good with this. Can I like move? How does this work? Here we go. Oh, that's terrifying. That's like the grossest, most terrible thing I've done to a character. Ew. I don't think that worked the way that I thought. We have to drink any more than a few drinks. Yeah, it's. Who said that? It's like you're borrowing the fun from the next day. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant way of putting it, in my opinion. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and it makes me uncomfortable. Smooth. Okay. Um, I can't even do it like with the other side. Oh, there we go. Now they're perfect. It's one to one. This guy looks like a banana. I think we'll do it. Finish and name my character. I like Bananamer. I'm sorry, Finn, but I like Bananamer. Banamer. Bananamer. There we go. The epic adventure. Oh yeah, I mean kids are very impressionable. It is it's very difficult, right? Like I remember, one of like the coolest stories I ever heard was, if y'all are familiar with Weird Al. I love Weird Al. I think he is a wonderful entertainer. I think his music is so clever and fun. And he just seems like a real stand-up guy, right? One of the reasons I think that is because I saw like a Reddit post one time that was like in the early 2000s or something. He was offered like a very lucrative advertising deal with like Budweiser, and what I understand his like response, he was like, I appreciate it, but I'm concerned that because so many of my not users, fans are like children, I don't want to like endorse any sort of like alcohol products or like anything of that nature. I just thought that was so cool, like it's even if you want, like you couldn't, it wouldn't even be like terrible necessarily if he'd take that ad revenue or whatever, but I just thought that was so cool. It was very nice of him. Derpiest Kid, wine is like deceptively high in alcohol content. At least that's how I always felt. Okay. I'm sorry, me eating a banana is disgusting. We'll lean away from the camera so that you don't have to listen to it or hear it. And show you guys, want me to show you something that's not so fun? Here. This is a bummer. So remember our beautiful trees? The speed trees, right? I think, are they turned on right now? They might not be turned on right now, so I can't show them off. But I noticed that, and I'm not quite sure why. I think someone told me it's because the creator was getting really fancy with some of the models and trying to do some really cool stuff. But there's, at least in the current iteration, yeah, we don't have them in here, unfortunately, so I can't show it off. But oh, do I have iron armor? I do. Okay. Here, this man will be an iron armor person, so that we there it is. Wait, how does this? I've never used. I plugged this in the skills mod. I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to like. Can I select from here? How does this work? That would be great. Maybe not. Do I still have to scroll through? But you can't see which one's which now. Heavy armor. That doesn't let you select from the bottom. Oh, I assumed that it would. That's like, it almost makes it slightly less usable because then you can't see like what these are in order to scroll to. I guess you like, oh, well, I guess they're like in order. Okay, well, pretty cool. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I wanted to experiment with it to see what it was like. I'm glad you feel that way, Demon. Okay. At least that way, I don't even know why I'm bothering to do that. I can just do this. Look, now I'm the most stamina banana in all of Tamriel. But anyway, I noticed that the speed trees, they occlude at the edge of your screen. So like, to kind of give you an example what that means, if I like take a look at this tree right here, right? What stamina, if you would like rotate the camera to right about there, I would say, because this is the way like occlusion works. If you're not familiar, a lot of open world games will occlude the assets that are, look at this man. Whoa, where'd he go? There he goes. So long, my friend. See, look, bug free, totally polished. Anyway, I'll explain that one in a second too, but when you move stuff out of the field of vision of your character in a lot of games, it's kind of like a weird quantum tunnel, right? where everything behind you is not being loaded, because that makes it easier, for the it makes the performance better. You're not having to load all these assets that you can't even see anyway, so it's like, why load them? Unfortunately, many of the tree models are occluding that way, and one of the issues with doing that with something like trees, I can kind of show you. Let's clear out the weather. This will be, some good, beautiful sunset God rays that'll illustrate this. Here, what's a nice big tree? This one's pretty big. Okay, so you can see, so I'm not looking over here, right, at the tree. But it's very important that that tree stays there, because if the tree doesn't stay there, the shadow disappears as well. So you need to have these trees. These still need to continue to load, or at least something needs to be responsible for casting a shadow, which I think typically a model would be the best way to do it. So that's a problem, right? So if we have all these trees that are occluding as we turn around and go in the other direction, you start to see shadows flickering. It's pretty obnoxious. So hopefully we'll be able to find a solution for that. I know that right now there are so many very talented mod authors who are working on trees. I don't know kind of what maybe it's just like a coincidence, but it's yeah, I know it's the case. Charmbarian is one of them. I know that you're working on a tree edit, or I'm pretty sure that's correct. I know a bunch of other people are doing it too, so I'm kind of chilling out on it for now. Probably what I'll do is mix in, basically just go with the original edit that I had planned, which is kind of like a cross of 3D trees and Merkvior and the Book of the Dead models. But I would like to use speed trees if we can figure out how to fix that. Nice. Yeah, I mean, even like the 3D tree models are pretty good, if you ask me. I think that they're quite beautiful, and they are so much more performant than the older models were. V4, I believe. Trying to figure out why all good meshes. Which ones? There you go, banana. Banana saving our life. Potassium. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to fix a bug. Okay, so the horse bug. This one's kind of unfortunate. I don't know of a solution here. So this guy's going to get on his horse. There are a handful of mods over the years that have tried to add NPCs to horses like this. I have one of them running. This NPC is from Improved Roads. Improved Roads tries to do this, and it's probably the best implementation I've seen thus far. However, I have never seen a mod that adds NPCs on horseback that does not suffer from that crazy weird. It's like every once in a while, one of these NPCs on one of these horses is going to start flying across the world. I've seen every single mod that I've seen do this suffers from this problem. I've seen many people, many modders try to solve it over the years with no success, as far as I know. So it's unfortunately a toss-up where you have to like decide. I still haven't decided myself. It's like, do we keep this in? I think it's so cool to see the guards walk by on horseback. It's like you just have to choose if you'd prefer that, while also occasionally seeing one just fly across the world. I don't know what causes it. It can happen to the player too. Like sometimes when you load the game and you're on horseback, your horse is going super nuts. Yeah, I've thought about that. In fact, actually, this would be worth noting. This is a bug, technically. If you're over here, you can hear the Dark Brotherhood door. Where is it at? I need to turn up my... well, I know it's somewhere in here. So we are going to do this. I'm going to take my handy-dandy little notebook. Also, who just asked this? What insane specs must you have to run this so smoothly? So, Destiny, my specs are actually not, like, great at the moment. I have a pretty solid graphics card. It's a 1080 stock. And my processor was good, 7 years ago. But it's an i7-4790K, which is getting a little ancient. So, and this is like the high preset. Like, you'll be able to turn this down to... We're really trying to add a lot of, like, granular performance tweaks, or not even tweaks, like settings that you can just very easily do from within the launcher to get the nice smooth performance that everybody wants. Okay. There's a my gosh, There's in my little notebook here from like a couple weeks ago, there's like an attempt that I did to do cross multiplication for like the first time in like who even knows how long. I eventually got. You guys ever like sit down to do long division like the way that you were taught in school and just realize that like you just completely can't do it, or it's like you have to really think about how to do it? I'm sure for the coders and programmers among us that won't be the case, but that is not me. Okay. DB door audio. So what we're going to be doing here is essentially just noting bugs to fix, right? And also hopefully trying to fix one or two while we're on stream. Yes, a 1080 is really what's carrying this this beautiful scene that we're seeing here. I think that my my processor's age really starts to show when I go to like the big cities and like the the open cities, world spaces. CT also, hello CT. So Sacroletius is the person that I've spoken to the most about this horse bug, right? And like he's the one, he's kind of like the expert in this space as far as I know. So he's the one I've spoken to, and as I know now, I don't think he's managed to solve it, but I really hope that he does, or if there's a way that I can help, I would be happy to. Do you think he's fixed it? If so, that would be amazing. I would be so happy if that were the case. I don't know what my VRAM usage is. Is there an easy way for me to tell? Oh, what's going on over here? I should probably TGM myself just in case. If he has, I would be very, very stoked. What's up, y'all? Did you guys kill something over here? Oh, a skeleton? What's a skeleton doing? Hello.
This doesn't concern you, citizen.
What a dick. All right.
All right, then.
Bro, we're both high elves. Why are you so mean to me? He must hate bananas. It's messed up. GeForce experiences performed. Oh, really? Most likely require an SKSE if it probably Havoc related. Yeah. There's a... I mean, that is way outside my realm of expertise. I know that's like kind of... That's like engine work, really. So maybe the reverse engineering Discord would know more. But I know that Havoc is tough to try and fix or address in any major way. I know that that's like one of the, we've talked about this before, but one of like the biggest long-standing bugs in Skyrim is like the limit on world space size in Skyrim, because after a certain distance away from the origin point, the physics just stop working. There's like no collision. It's pretty wild to see in person. Yeah, it's a major bummer. Maybe one day it'll get solved. Who knows? There's so many different things that like I never thought would be solved that did eventually get a solution. Thanks to the wizards. So who knows? Can't say. Anyway, here's what we got to do. I'm going to go to... We could do that, CT, or, I mean, I don't know, I don't, want to put you on the spot, Barry, and I know that you've been working on it, but it's like the work that Charmbarian is doing reminds me of, like, Open Morrowind, where, like, implementing Lua support and support for some other languages. Like, I bet you, if you manage to do that, there's so many different things I could imagine that are a barrier right now or can't be done right now that would be possible. Alt-Z. I need to remember, I have a different, hold on, I have a different, oh, I just started recording. That's not what I wanted to do. What did I choose? What is my overlay button? There we go. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, they're actually... So there's a micro center that is in Irvine, which is pretty far away from me, but, like... It's close enough to where I was, like, trying to get, different parts and stuff. I ended up just, earlier in the year, or last year, paying a little bit extra to get a 3080, which is actually... right there. And I didn't have to do that for I just bought a new processor as well. I actually bought a 5900X, but I bought it from this like IT place in Texas that was allowing people to purchase the processor at MSRP, not marked up or anything. And at the time, I think I've told this story before, but I called them and was like, was this on purpose that like your website allows people to purchase these, or like are you going to be able to fulfill these orders? And at the time they were like, yeah, like it's no problem. As it turns out, it was very difficult for them to fulfill the orders. Obviously, there's a huge shortage of processors and all kinds of stuff. But I think, as of like last week, I think they're finally going to be able to fulfill my order. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this week, a little processor arrives maybe. That would be very cool, because then I could build a new computer. I could test all this stuff on the new computer to see what the performance is like, and all that Python/JavaScript support for SKC. Yeah, I bet that's true, versus the Lua support, Trimbarian. That is really cool. It is so cool that you're doing that. Also, your tweet the other day about like auto ESLing, dude, that would be so amazing. That would be so cool. Do a PC build stream. That sounds like fun, actually. That would be really cool. I should do something like that. I'm gonna embarrass. Do you guys remember that poor? I can't remember what publication it was. It was like, it wasn't like Polygon, but it was something adjacent where this person put together like a PC build guide or like video or stream or something, and they just like really weren't doing like a lot of things correctly, and so the internet just like tore them apart, and it became this massive thing. And then there was like counter arguments where like, I mean, I think this is probably fair to say, it was like some people were going like way too hard on this person, and then there was like an interesting like classism argument in there somewhere where it's like one side was like, well, it's like not everyone has had gamed PCs their whole lives and knows how to do all these things, and then like the counter argument, people were like, well, then maybe that's not the right sort of skill set that you need to put a guide together. It was like this crazy, it was The Verge. You're right, Finn, it was The Verge. I just remember seeing that at the time and just being like, whoa. Y'all know how us gamers can get. We're a very passionate bunch. Okay, where is the VRAM thing? Who said that? Where is the VRAM? The VRAM button. HUD layout. Gotcha. Camera status indicator? Nah, not that. F viewers comments. Put it on advanced. Wait. HUD layout, 1 million guide. Yeah, I think that was kind of like the argument, Finn. Doesn't show the performance tab. FPS counter, then advanced. I don't see any advanced button. Do I have it in like baby mode? Do I have to like hit a different setting somewhere else perhaps in order to do this? Oh yeah, could be. Well, I can do that right now. Let's just get, well, so my 1080 has a I have Skyrim performance monitor as well, so that might help, but either way we'd have to restart the game. Let's just do this real fast. I would like to see though. I mean this is testing, right? We should know how much VRAM we're getting. How about this? Let me escape out of there. I'm going to make a quick save. Can we check from Task Manager? Will that show us? Let me Alt Tab here. Performance. Oh yeah. Okay. Will it show me VRAM though? I wonder. GPU 1. Here, I'm gonna put this over on this screen. Maybe it'll change once I like Alt Tab back into the game. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So my GPU 1 has now rocketed upwards. You guys can't see it, but it's like 99% usage. Wow, and it's 75 degrees Celsius. That seems like a lot. GPU 1. Okay, here I got the VRAM. I think video encode, copy, 3D. Okay. So this is what I'm looking at here. Okay, so it looks like 6.7 out of 8 on the full. That's quite a lot. Is that correct? Is that how much it's dedicating, or is that how much it's being used? Yeah, you're probably right, Sindine. What do y'all think? Yeah, I really need to. So this computer has wow, so that's 6.7 gigs of VRAM, huh? That's not gonna fly for a lot of people's GPUs. We got to bring that down. Dedicated, technically, you can't see. I was gonna say it should not be that high. I was like, I'm pretty sure, like that's one of the areas where I really do try to hit like the balance of like, performance versus visual fidelity. And I would be like very, very surprised if 6.8 were how much were actually being used. This is where, okay, well, in that case, I just made a save. My dedicated wham to one the Sovo. That kid is a champion. That kid is like the coolest kid in the history of the planet, in my mind. What is his name? Super Kai 64, I believe. Let me run. Well, how about this? Maybe we should update GeForce. That is also true, Derpius. I will keep that in mind. Let me see if I can update GeForce Experience, because that would be cool. I can always use, I'm not as familiar with Skyrim Performance Monitor. Like sometimes it doesn't work for me. Yeah, Murloc King, it's like, you know how people can be. Like, I'm sure, at the time, it's like, oh, like, fuck this kid. Like, like people are mean, of course. But now I feel like that dude, hopefully it's been worth it. Or like, he's transcended into legend. You know what I mean? And I actually have seen like an interview with him like years after the fact where he seemed like pretty cool and like chill about it. He seems just like a chill dude overall. So that made me feel good to see. Oh, that is true. Brought to you by Q. I know that, well, I didn't know it has a performance widget, but I know that there's the Xbox overlay or whatever it's called. Gotcha, Halgari. Also, what's up, dude? I didn't know that it was like it could do that. That's pretty cool. Wouldn't be so sure Skyrim mods max out my 8 gigs. I know it does get reliable CTDs. Oh, no. Well, interesting. Let us see. What's new in GeForce Experience 3.2.2? Can I see, like, what's my version? Oh. So I think it automatically updated. Let's see what happens if I do this. Okay. Wait, performance. That looks like it might be promising. Just worth checking out. Oh boy, GPU power. Performance. What about VRAM usage? Performance overlay basic. Ah, here we go. Now we're talking. Oh boy. Well, there it is. We did it, everyone. Excuse me. That banana's hit it. You guys ever have where like you haven't eaten something in a long time and it's like you're hungry but you're not, and then when you eat something it's like your body is like, what is this food that you've placed into my system? And then you're almost like more nauseous for like a hot second. Wow, look at this. Memory clock, GPU temperature. I feel like I'm still not. Is there something on here that is the VRAM usage, or am I just missing it? What happened? Settings. Performance overlay. Alt R. Oh. Oh yeah. Hello, Xanawar. Okay, hold on just a moment. HUD layout. Performance advanced. Okay, so that's just determining what it shows us. I understand. Okay, well, then that means there needs to be something here that corresponds. Performance tuning. Oh. That's just, all right. Well, am I crazy? There's something here. That's the clock, GPU. I mean, that's sort of it. But it's not showing me the VRAM usage. Am I crazy? I can always run. I think I have Skyrim Performance Monitor. SSC build. No. Utilities. Yes. I don't know if it's like the latest version, though. Okay, well, we'll try that, and then we'll see what happens. We will start up the game. We'll see what information we can see. And if it doesn't work, then we'll just, we'll do. Oh, I haven't been getting the follow notifications. Thank you. Or I haven't seen them. Hey, it's Don't Fudge With Me. Odysseus, Darth Caius, Hasgard. Thank you for the follows, y'all. Hopefully you're all still around. Hydro homies unite. Oh boy, I definitely. It's like I remember. What's it go? Is when you get to the point in your life where drinking gives you a multi-day hangover. That's when you know you really arrived. Oh, that's right, Cindy. I forgot. Let's see my Windows game bar. Performance. Yeah, okay. There's a VRAM usage thingy right here. It's just like difficult to see. I wonder. I hope it shows the used versus like allocated. You know what I mean? Looks like that'll be. We should have enough here to let us know. Oh, you can't. Really interesting. Oh yeah, you can't. Look at that. Wow. I mean, that's probably by design, or maybe it's like a happy accident or something. Who knows? I don't know how to code things or make applications. Oh man, I missed this. Super Kai was doing Let's Plays on his channel. That is so cool. You love to see when like the internet comes together to be nice instead of mean. Click on the VRAM tab, it shows usage. All right, cool. I will definitely do that. Why not some MSI Afterburner? I don't... Would MSI Afterburner work for... I guess it works for everything, huh? Because it's not, like, GPU specific. It'll show allocated from what I've seen. Allocated equals used when you first load into Skyrim. So if you load COC directly in a cell, the allocated at that point should be the minimum for that cell. Okay, thank you, Helgari. I will do that. Hello, Rezi. I think, at least historically, and maybe this is like an old wives' tale at this point, we recommended not using MSI Afterburner or like any sort of kind of a aftermarket overclocking software on Skyrim Legendary Edition because a bunch of people encountered like crashes, I want to say, with it. I have no idea if that's still the case for either LE or SE, or if on SE specifically it's the case. I can't say. Gotcha, Finn. Yeah, but like, am I crazy? Resi, Finn, do you remember that kind of stuff? Use OBS to stream, use game capture, display capture. I use display capture. I think you are correct that the game capture is like a bit more temperamental. I think that was my experience as well. There is a performance trade-off, I think, in general for using display capture, but it works at the very least. Like, doesn't crash the game. I believe when I tried to use game capture, even if it didn't crash, the stream itself was like super choppy, right? And kind of looked odd. All right, so we're loaded in here. We got, let me check my, okay, so my VRAM says 74. I mean, that's like close to what it was telling us. So right now it shows I'm using 5.9. 5.9 out of 8 gigs. That's what I see on my Windows overlay. What did it say before? 6.7? So it's definitely different. But also that 6.7 figure. Oh, thank you for the follow, King Shadow Wolf. We had wandered around a bit, right? And we started in a different cell, so maybe Fall Creek required more. Hello.
Need something?
Nope.
All right then.
Bye-bye. Oh. Yeah, well, that is the other thing too that I am running I'm running Skyrim right now in borderless window through SSE display tweaks, right? Which might have been the solution, like that might have been what helped. I can't say for certain. All right, well, let me get my beautiful performance overlay off the screen. Oops. Look how yellow my arms are. Beautiful. My banana man. Okay, so the bug that I wanted to try and fix... Yeah, I mean, 5.9 seems like it fits. We do have a lot of stuff running here. That does give me a little bit of pause, though, because, I mean, as of now, the plan for, like, the performance profiles was going to be that we have a potato mode where, like, all the visual mods are not included. And then, just having like different ini presets basically for like scaling upwards, but all the other presets were going to have all the different texture mods and stuff, and I don't know if I can safely do that if, you know, the VRAM usage is approaching like 6 gigs in some cases, or even 7 if that first figure is to be believed. So there may be kind of a granular approach I can take there. I'll have to kind of wait and see. Anyway, what exactly is the obsession with VRAM? Don't really SSE. High chance I won't tell you much. Well, I guess that is true. Jeez, I'm just trying to make sure that we don't like kill. I want people who have, you know, not a 1080 to be able to play and have the option of using like the graphics mode, because the graphics mode is definitely like the intended experience for Ultimate Skyrim. But if even on like the lowest any settings, the VRAM is too high for users with less powerful GPUs to play, that would be a problem, because I was discussing this with JTK on the Wabbajack Discord. Like, accessibility is... Oh. No. You're going to try and... Watch this.
All right.
Ah,
Hand
damn
over
it.
your valuables, or I will gut you like a fish.
No. I'd rather
And
die.
I guess
Oh,
that
God.
is your last request, fool.
Ow! These thieves, they're no joke. We got lucky there. Thank you for the follow, JTR2D2. Said VRAM is all over the place. 3060 has more VRAM than a 3080. What? That's not good. I mean, it's good if you have a 3060. I ordered a 3080. I mean, I'm sure it has more than enough VRAM for like any of my purposes, right? But still, though, it's like I want to have all of VRAM. Okay, so the bug that I wanted to try and fix, I believe will show up on, you know who it'll definitely show up on is on Kano. I guess I could just do this. Let's go to, it's more fun to go directly to the college though. No, you know what we'll do? We'll go to Windhelm Palace of, is it the Kings? Yes. The 3060 has more than the 3060 Ti? That's crazy. Blah, blah, blah. Galmar Stone Fist. I think if I get close enough, he'll start doing it. Blah. Okay, yeah, so that's what I'm trying to fix here. So we have, so Ulfric has some sort of like absorb or reflect buff, and most of my like player effects are supposed to be flagged to not show up as absorb or reflect, but one of them definitely is, and we don't know which one. So we have a couple different ways that we can try and solve this, but it's kind of gnarly. But I wanted to solve this very badly. Bananamer. So we need to go to effects and check out some of these. We're looking for cloaks here. That won't work. So if we go through these effects, right? Can I go like page down? That would be nice. No, I can't. Okay, I just hit it very fast. We need to try and find some of these. Oh, they're not. This used to, I updated all good. Not all good, sorry. The console information. It used to sort these by like active and inactive. Can I not do that anymore? Because I don't, or maybe these are sorted. No, because there's like active ones in here too. I actually really liked the ability to sort by that, and now I'm not as sure about what's what. Absorb, swirl effect, remover mod. You want to get... Yeah, that is an option, Demon Corp. I do like the... I kind of like the effect, and also I like the player feedback element of knowing when, you know, something's actually absorbing your attacks. I feel like if I was a mage and someone were absorbing or reflecting my spells, I'd want to know it somehow, and that's like a good way to know that. And it's such a simple solution, like flagging the appropriate like effect to not show up that way. Just the difficult part is figuring out what's doing that. So what I plan to do, I wanted to go through here and just kind of, you know, make a note of all the effects that could be responsible, and then it would be fairly simple, I think, to kind of process of elimination, figure out which one is doing it. Thanks, Sindine. Have a good one. 3090 is the recommended for top version of my list. Not sure. 16 Oh my gosh. That is a lot of VRAM, but I bet it's beautiful. I bet it's real impressive. Yeah, I'm getting kind of worried, to be honest, about like is there a plan in place to address this massive, because it's not just like a shortage of the the shortage of like the cards and the processors and whatever is because of the shortage of like the materials needed for the production, right? Which is like, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, textures are rough if they're super low. Unless, well, it's like, man, for most games, I would say that is definitely the case. I've been playing Valheim lately, though, with the boys, right? God, that game is beautiful. It is like a testament to what you can do with extremely strong art direction and super low res textures if the textures are well designed, right? It's kind of almost like a Minecraft situation where like the textures themselves are like extremely small and like low res, but it looks amazing still because of it's like the feel that it gives you, right? And you can tell that they the silicone shortage, silicon. No, silicone is different. You remember how like this is dating myself, but anyone who grew up playing the first kind of era of 3D games, like N64 era, we'll say, you remember how those games just like when you think back in your nostalgia brain, the games look like amazing, right? And when you go back and actually play them, it obviously like the graphics don't typically hold up super well, especially graphics from that era. I think that there is of course just like the rose-colored glasses and nostalgia, but I think that a big reason for that phenomenon is because a lot of those games, despite having, pretty strong technical limitations, did also have a really strong art direction, right? So it just still felt really good. Still looked really good, at least in your mind's eye. All right, so we're going to make a big list here of effects that may be causing this. I think all good effects. I'll just put all good. Although, you know what? I think that if all good was doing it, it'd be, I think more people would have this issue. I might have heard of it from the other list authors. I'm not using 24K textures, unfortunately. Lighting, yes, the lighting and reflections that's like, I guess you would say like the lighting and the post-processing are probably like hugely responsible for why Valheim looks so good. What the hell? Bleeding effects, NPC bleed. Oh, it could be, what's the other enhanced blood. That's one that's important to check. Cloak player active. Okay. Well, it doesn't say what that's from, but we can do that. Yeah, Ultimate Skyrim's getting the vaccine. It actually comes with a dose of the vaccine, and it requires. But see, you know how like there's all the conspiracies about like 5G and stuff in the vaccine. The version of the vaccine you have to take in order to play Ult Sky, it's not a conspiracy. It actually does contain 5G. It's a feature. So I'm just gonna write down cloak player, and then note the magic effect. Form ID 1E001 1E001 30E. We can also, we don't need to have mod organizer locked while we're in games. We can unlock this. We can look at our load order and figure out what is 1E. I see it right here. Wildcat. I'd be very surprised if Wildcat were doing this. That doesn't seem like something that Enei would let slip through the cracks. I'm going to call that Wildcat. When you were hurt in Ultimate Skyrim, you will get hurt in real life. Totally. It's like it's basically the Matrix. Oh my god, Liz, that sounds terrifying. Was that my night sky screenshot that was up before? Which one's that, Rezi? Barian, I'm trying to find which of the cloak. There's some sort of like cloak effect, cloak script, something that is active on my character that is not properly flagged for no absorb / reflect. So all the characters who have like absorb buffs or reflect buffs are, you know, creating that big ol' swirly effect. Yes, giant pint of tomato juice. Oh man, I forgot that Resident Evil is out, or it's almost out, isn't? Y'all gotta tell me. Okay, so that's Wildcat, I think. There's a lot of all good cloaks. Damage, health regeneration, damage resistance. That's all chillin'. Dead drunk. We're also, I mean, really the only... Okay, follower detection effect, fortified combat healing. What are these from? That looks like a vanilla effect. That shouldn't be like a script. I'm going to pass on that one. Fortify armor rating, blah, 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 blah. Fortify health. These are fine. Full body stagger. That's that's definitely Wildcat. Keep it clean. Dirty monitor. That could be it. I doubt it, but because that doesn't do anything with other NPCs. But maybe. You never know. Call. It isn't. We don't know which mod it is. That is absolutely correct. Hello, Great Paninsky. So I'm basically just going through I don't know if there's a better way to do this. I mean, half the things I do, I assume that there's a better way to do it, and I just don't know what it is. But I'm basically going through these active effects and trying to determine which of them are likely scanning, which of them are probably like cloak scripts, right, that are like scanning NPCs in the vicinity, and basically listing all of those so that I can try and process of elimination downward to see, you know, which one's which. Keep it clean is 320D. 20D. E9C8. Okay. Legality check effect. That I have no idea what it is. What is 07 in the load order? 07 is campfire. Oh, interesting. That's actually really good to know. I've wanted to use this effect. So this is what determines whether you can place things like in the area. In fact, you know what? We should test that. Remind me, all of you right now, if I forget, remind me to test the campfire like legality business, because it used to be, I'm pretty sure, that if you don't know, campfire has a mechanic. It's pretty cool where like it doesn't allow you to place objects in like occupied areas, right? So you can't just like plop down a building in the middle of Whiterun or whatever, or at least that's the design. I believe that even though the game would tell you that you couldn't, you still could, and I don't think that there was any consequence for it. So we need to test that because I wanted to utilize that for some other stuff. I guess we can write that. I'd be very surprised if that were it, but why not? We will write it down. Either way, 0702 9F7D. Perfect. Modifier perk player. That seems unlikely. I don't know what that's also from 1E, so that's Wildcat. Player tracker FX. That's inactive anyway. Quest starts. Rectometer. I wonder what that is. What is it? That seems, yeah, I was going to say, that seems like Eni's sense of humor. Requiem. I'd be very surprised if any Requiem stuff is doing this. Season script. Seriously drunk. Sign of the warrior. Active. Sleep damp. That'd be very unlikely. Timed block player. Also unlikely. True yield cloak. Inactive. Well, see. Are any of these active? I don't. Here's another difficult bit, right? Is that I don't think that an inactive effect would produce the issue, but I don't know that for certain. Okay, here we go. XPMSE weapon cloak effect. That could be it. Weapon cloak. Weapon style scale effect. I don't think that would be it. 87000D63. 87000D63. Okay. And there's not any more. That's the end of the list. It could be a spell, maybe? No, these are like... I don't know. Yeah, there are some in here. Okay, well, we'll go through these as well. Yeah, CT, I'm using the unofficial port. That is the thing. A 970 definitely would preclude you, exclude you, that's the word, from a lot of the latest stuff. But I don't think it's a terrible card. You could get by with some mods at least. Okay, sleep tight. That could be actually. Okay, so I'm gonna make like a little divider here and be like, these are the effects. Here's spells. Sleep tight. Does it say what spell it added? Probably. Okay, sleep tight. Oh my god, y'all! I gotta be honest. I feel so nauseous. My body needs to sleep. I'm sure. I got a lot of sleep last night too. 3E000D67. D67. Talking about Ogre Boss by getting the rectificator ported to synthesis. He had never heard of the project before. Was looking into it. Awesome. I did see your post the other day on the Requiem subreddit. I forgot to follow up after that, but it was very cool. Thank you for the info, Halgari. 970's biggest problem is VRAM. It's still decent performance-wise. Yeah, I had a 970 for a very long time. More water. Good point. In fact, I think I'm out. I might need to replenish. I am. Please pardon me. Pardon me for a moment while I replenish my water bottle, my water reserves. Be right back. Oof. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. It smells so much like bananas in this room right now. Kind of wish. Oh, Rezi, you'll be surprised perhaps that All Good is in here. As of right now, anyway. Oh, yes. I'm sorry, Trimbarian, if I have ever done the same. I did not notice the tag as well. Yeah, that's generally what I try to do. How are we saving VRAM? Exploring new form support fudge. Ooh, that would be really... Yeah, no kidding. The idea of not having to run the patchers themselves would be super cool because I think the rectificator is cool. I think it's like a brilliant solution to the problems that existed when it was built. But obviously, you know, patching technology has gone pretty crazy. Oh, yes, I suppose that's true. That's where I can't really say, Helgari. You all know that is way outside my realm of expertise or knowledge. Okay, sleep tight. Where were we? Aventus Essential. It's weird that this must be Simple Children. I guess it's has its own like proprietary solution for like making children essential. At least I think that's where that's coming from. Let's see, 09. I would guess so. Thank you for the follow. Oh, Tacky. Yo. Plugins. What was that? Sorry. Oh, it's Immersive Children. Duh. It's not Simple Children. I'm talking shit incorrectly. Hell, the message for reason identity. What? Dude, the auto moderator is funny. Ow, I just splashed myself in the eye. Hello, Tacky. Okay, that could be it. Essential Kids Nah. Emote menu. Oh, I forgot I added an emote menu mod. 1A. I have not tested that yet. Maybe we can do that on stream. Yeah. Okay. I don't remember how to do it, but we have that all good item, weapon cloak, cathedral meditation, cathedral trigger spell. Cathedral. Oh, meditation is for. Okay, that wouldn't be it. Lantern toggle added spell. What is this one? C3. C3 is okay. That one, that could be our enhanced blood texture spell. EBT. It's kind of funny that that's the same EBT. It's the same acronym as like EBT, like food stamps. I think that's the same, right? I guess that's true. Weren't we talking about like language in the last stream where like one of the, at least a pro that English has is that it does have like a lot of neutral language. EBT is, what is the form ID for that? C303300B. Okay, I'm not going to remember that. C3 03300B. Got it. See, y'all, isn't this fun? I find it kind of fun, to be honest. It's just fun to, like, you know, make progress. Horse ownership, taxpayer, follower, detect. Those are all. Oh, gosh. Thank you for the follow, Xanawar. Holiday. Oh. Whoa, hold up. What are these? I don't. Okay, FE00E. Oh, the RAS visual effects. That could be it. That's actually a very strong candidate. God, I love the fact that there are so many tools like this to like help you diagnose things is just the coolest thing in the world, is it not? In lots of languages, the male one is also the neutral one. See? Toxic masculinity. I'm just kidding. Someone say CBT. We did not, but we should have. CBT is beautiful. It's a real aid. Okay, so I guess this we can kind of summarize as like RAS. I'm not going to write down each spell for like each one, but RAS, because it has so many like effects that it assigns based on the player, I think it's like a cloak script if I had to guess. That is a good candidate. Combat configure Wildcat, crossbow bonus, keep it clean dirty. I really don't think that's going to be it. Stone of the Warrior, weapon ability, weapon cloak. All good. Player combat heal rate. Base spell, range damage resistance. None of this stuff. That's not going to do it. Be a Steel Blood. True Yield Cloak. This is probably Requiem. 8/8. Yes, that is Requiem. So, I mean, I would be surprised if that were it, but I might as well write it down anyway. In the interest of being thorough. 8809. We need some music in here. F108. Perfect. Hello, Sacroletius. We were just talking about you earlier. We were trying to ascertain whether you had ever found a solution to the NPCs flying around on horseback bug. I mentioned how you were the oh my gosh, thank you for the resub, Concursus. Thank you for 2 months. Cool. Yeah. Derpiest Kitty has the clip right there. I think, okay, I got that one. What are you? I don't know, but that's also Requiem. I'd be pretty surprised if it were Requiem because people would notice and have reported it. That's exciting. Very, very exciting. Ability Frisk. That one's probably not a... This is just... Okay, well. That's all Requiem stuff. So from that, I bet you... What about actor values? Nah, that's fine. Yeah, none of this stuff. That's not like scripts or anything. Okay, well from that, we can probably... I mean, perks would be like a means of assigning some of these, but I don't think that we need to go through the perks. I think that with what I have here, this is at the very least like a very strong list of leads. Hopefully I don't have to dig in any deeper. I don't think it'll be very much fun to like actually start doing the process of elimination for these on stream. I think that's not super interesting. I'll leave that for my own time. But, oh my god. What the hell? That scared the shit out of me. What we can do... Oh, let's test the emotes. That actually reminded me, Concursus. Do I have emote menu? Hell yeah. Select the category. Use stop to halt any player. Social world. Interesting. Greetings. Okay. I wonder if there's a way... Props. Clean sword. I guess, does this not work? Said I don't have a sword? Do I need, let me see. Help. Iron sword for wep. No, player dot add item. 5EF7. Oops. I always forget to put the count. How about now, huh? Props. There we go. Look at that. Can I? There it is.
The people are behind you.
Interesting. It does kind of... Oh, I'm still doing it. Oh, weird. I bet you I can use this for like exploits, like speedrunning exploits. We continue streaming even after. Yes, Icon. If anything, I will be streaming much more after the alpha release, because then I'll actually have like a playable version, right? Gotcha, Sacrilegious. I was gonna say, I know that has been like a real pain in the patoot, that bug for like so many modders, and I figured if anyone solved it, it would have been you. But last time we spoke, I'm pretty sure that that you were still working on it or trying to figure out what caused it. I am looking for customizable camera. Please load my profile. Thank you. Yes, I do need an eat banana. Have I? Yes, concursus. Actually, I have I was gonna throw in. Actually, no, we can do. Oh, look, I see a gap here. Is that because of the model replacement? Probably. Here, this is a bug. There's a bug we can write down. Let's say I'll use one of these as a reference too. Let me get the reference form ID. Be like door gap model. Say Palace of Kings. C0E2B. Boom. Yes, horses are like very not. What issues did you fix? Out of curiosity. Headless horseman flying around all over the place. That is amazing, Charnbarian. If anything, that's like the least immersion breaking instance of that bug I can think of, because you know he's a ghost. Anything goes. Yes, I think so. That would be. See, stuff like this is very easy to fix, generally speaking. In fact, you can even see. I have a BAT for this. I want to say. I don't want to have to do it all manually. It's not like the worst, but let me see if I still do. No, it would be. I guess I don't. I wouldn't have it after going through. Well, that's no problem. Say x negative 2393. There we go. Look, we're almost fixing it already. Ulfric, shush. Oh, I guess it's time to go. Yep. 7 p.m. closing time. Everyone's going to the tavern. Shut up, Ulfric. Oh, actually, this is a good time to test. Yeah, see, I'm still triggering the cloak script on him. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Actually, I should probably leave right in the middle of it. We want to make sure that this scene doesn't play twice. Hold on. 5. Boom. Now it's on the other side. Yep. Okay, so I think that's the issue. I bet you it's not even like a placement issue. It's that the remodel... Oh, yeah, okay. There you go. That would be like perfect. How about that? See? Easy. Oh, he's going on about... this is why the Empire's bad and the Stormcloaks good. Okay, hold on. I'm going to make a save really fast. I want to leave. Why can I not sprint? Oh, I can. I'm just very slow. So I want to leave and then go back in and then test to see if the scene repeats, right? Because that's not ideal, but that's okay. Because we have a bug fix that I believe Rezi recommended to me. Where... ooh, what? Pure SKC in-engine survival mod. Hey, that sounds cool. We have a fix that prevent... I don't know if you guys knew this, but in the base game, the vanilla game, the scenes that play with like Ulfric, and I believe there's also an equivalent one for General Tullius for like the Imperial side of things, right? That scene will just continue to play over and over and over until I think they think that you're going to join the Legion, or join the Stormcloaks, join the Civil War, right? So that you're going to go in and the scene does not play again if you join one of the factions, but if you don't join one of the factions, it'll just keep happening over and over every single time you go into this area. They'll just keep doing it. It's ridiculous.
Let me know if you hear anything more substantial.
Okay, so I think we're good.
Yes, my lord.
I think that is a proof in the pudding that this bug is fixed, because he's not doing it again. What's up, brother? Oh, it seems like he's busy. He's not talking to me. Why? Oh, he's got inconsequential NPCs
May I share it with you?
seen.
I'm in no mood to joke.
I think you might enjoy this one, my lord. If you will but indulge me.
All right.
2 Dunmeres are stopped by a guard at the gates of Windhelm.
It kind of sounds
The
like...
guard asks, "Why are you here?" To which the Dunmeres reply, "We are
Hello,
here to
Atil.
capture the city." The guard then asks, "Just the 2 of you? Have you been sucking down skooma?" The Dunmeres look at each other, then back at the guard.
He almost sounds like
Finally, one
a
of them
vampire.
says,
Blue.
"We
It's
are
pretty good,
only
though.
part of the invasion force. The rest are already inside Windhelm."
And what would you have me do?
Something, my Jarl. Because even if we can free Skyrim from the Talmor and the Empire, Windhelm will still remain occupied so long
This is
as
actually
we
not
leave
bad
aside
dialogue.
The Nords who live here.
Okay, that's not... I don't even mind. A lot of the inconsequential NPCs scenes I'm not a huge fan of.
My lord.
Oh my god, there's another one?
Very well. I hear some townsfolk are referring to the Windhelm docks as the Argonian border. I recall a time before the Civil War began, when the first Argonian refugees
It's like, what, so this guy gets the balls to talk about his xenophobic stuff because that other guy just did?
and offered them sanctuary in our charity.
Yeah, Dunmere's, that was pretty weird.
In those days, the Windhelm docks was bustling with Lord sailors.
Oh, Atil, so the magic around Ulfric, that's actually what we were here to fix, sort of. What's happening there, most likely, very likely, is that, also I want to, hold on, there's a better version of this,
that I hope
what's it called, throne model, I want to say. In fact, I'm going to write that down. I know that there's a mod that does that better throne model. God, my handwriting is so bad. My printing is so bad. There's some sort of cloak effect that is on the player that is not properly flagged as not an absorb or something that should apply to absorb and reflect. And so, because Ulfric has buffs that give him strong absorb and reflect magic, the absorb spell keeps going off.
I understand.
Oh, and then this guy's going to come and talk to him too. Alright, fine. Or maybe not. Now can I talk to Ulfric? I can.
The foolish or the courageous approach a Jarl without summons.
A fool would have joined the Empire.
A fair point.
So yeah, it's a little distracting when you're trying to speak to someone and it's like... I don't know, Concursus. My printing is very bad. Oh yeah, Sacrilege. I want to see this. You'll no longer be able to run up slopes with an angle greater than 40, or you and your horse will fall over. Okay, cool. You know, I actually saw a similar mod that I thought was rad the other day, where not with horses, but where if you land on a slope and you take falling damage, it's supposed to imply like a slip, like you've slipped and fallen, so you can't just like, you know, kind of exploit your way all the way down the hill. If you dismount a swimming horse, animation glitches occur. Having your horse run through water instead of swimming, fix those using a pretty janky workaround. Interesting. Very, very cool. Yeah. Slip off slopes. Yes, SOS. Okay, so this is kind of trickier. We have... One of the other things that I wanted to do was basically run through the cities and kind of scoop up... objects, like stuff like this, right? It's really beautiful how many different objects there are, but because if we have too many objects, high poly objects, you can see like the frame rate is not fantastic. So I just kind of wanted to do like an optimization sweep to like clean up a lot of the cities and hopefully improve their performance at least a little bit, right? However, I think dynamic things just updated that appearance. I think the frame rate right now, it's got to be low. It's got to be like 20s. Where's my frame rate counter? Does it not work anymore? Here, let me do this one. Well, okay. Oh, 15, 19, 20. Yeah. So plus like streaming plus not running it in full screen absolutely kills my frame rate. And this is not like 20 FPS, you know, in the middle of Windhelm is not really ideal. It's not, you know, cities, you don't need like extreme performance the way you do in like other combat encounters, but like you don't want to be walking around with like 30 FPS even, right? So the reason that this is because we have open cities, and then we also have like Dawn of Skyrim and you have Dawn of Skyrim, you got JK Skyrim. There's a few population mods that add more NPCs. There's a bunch of light sources all around. You have like Skyrim 3D trees, right? Oh, something really just killed my frame rate. What's up with this person? Having some issues. You've got Skyrim 3D trees, which has like these very high poly models in the middle of town, which is probably not added by Skyrim 3D trees. It's just that, like, what is this? Yeah, JK's adds this, right? Or either JK's or Dawn of Skyrim, and it just so happens that the models we use now are way higher poly. Is there no hope of having FPS in the hundreds? You definitely can, not in cities. I think that even with the highest, even with the most gnarly hardware, plus with the optimization passes that I plan on doing, 100 FPS in the cities would probably be tough to achieve. You can very easily achieve that in places like the wilderness or like especially in interiors like dungeons, easily 100 plus FPS. It's just the cities that will give you the most trouble because they are packed full of stuff. These open cities, JK's DOS, my 2080 Ti and Threadripper system, yes, maxes out at 20 FPS. That does not surprise me. So here's a good example of like, okay, this is a Skyrim 3D tree. It replaces which model? It does not say, but I'm sure it's got to be one of the default like dead trees. So you have a massive model that was never supposed to be, you know, it wasn't supposed to look like this. But it does, and so now it's like not only here. I'll re-enable it. You can see how like these lanterns, I'm sure, were placed, yeah, by JK's Dawn of Skyrim. They assume that you don't have this model of tree, so now you have these like floating lanterns, right? Floating lanterns. So this is the kind of stuff that I get to kind of sweep up and fix in our like internal testing phase, right? And just generally trying to help performance. Now, what I was going to say before is that, or like here's another good example. These snowberries kind of look weird when placed here with this like model. So I'm just fixing a bunch of stuff like that. I don't think one way you could do this is to just go through and like in-game note all the references, right, that are doing this, and then I just saw the Praxis's message say Bill Gates is getting a divorce. I almost said divorce. You could note all the references and disable them that way, but I think what'll be a much simpler solution is just for me to load all of this up in the creation kit and then like mess with it there and just like do it direct, like make whatever changes I want to make directly in the creation kit itself. Immersive College of Winterhold is not in SE as of now, Gax Spackle. It has been replaced by Obscures. However, I do know that there is a patch that is supposed to kind of combine the best of both worlds. I just haven't looked at it yet or like, you know, gone that route. But it does seem promising. Seems pretty cool. So yeah, cities are we know that cities need a lot of attention. They need a lot of, oh here. Actually, I want to note this as well. I want to replace this texture. Say, replace manhole texture. Something I wanted to do for a while. Skyrim Engine has a bug cause of physics to glitch out. FPS is under 10. Oh, cool. Wonderful. Yeah, open cities, I think, really, like, in and of itself alone. Oh, wonderful. Flickering light sources. Hey. If you just did open cities, I would need to test this, but like I know that Arthmore like consistently insisted on this. That's a fun pairing of words, isn't it? Consistently insisted. He always said that open cities alone would not cause performance drops. I can see that being the case if you're not adding any other, characters or items or decorations or whatever. Having this many references in open cities definitely makes an impact on performance. What's up, Brad?
I've been instructed to tell all visitors that this is Stormcloak territory. If you're an Imperial spy, better turn around right now. You have been warned. Now move along.
Alright, Tolgan. Big man in the castle, I get it. Yeah, I think that is the case. Charmbarian about open cities and Halgari. Earlier when asked... Oh, sorry about that, Concursus. Yeah, so I have either FK's diverse racial skeletons or like the new fixed version of the OG, what is it? The one we used to use, racial body morphs. One of those two is going to be in the initial build. I just haven't decided which yet. I need to kind of go through and like test them. But definitely one of the two of them are. Hello, Rear Isle. Belith Dono, hello. We are basically just kind of testing and looking for things that need fixing. A moment ago, I was trying to look at potential causes of like an absorb reflect bug that I know has been going on for a while. Other than that, I'm basically just here. No, I don't want that. I want to set game hour. I mean, I guess we should go around at night as well. We need nighttime. It's just dark. It's hard for you guys to see what's going on. But we're basically just kind of in the testing phase. Oh yeah, Novo told me, Plot. Novo has actually had that patch kind of... for a long time, he took a break. He was not working on Skyrim, but I know now that we're approaching the special edition release, he has stepped back into some of his patches. If you don't add beast feet for beast races, I'm calling Todd to permanently curse Alt Sky. Beast feet for beast races, huh? Does what's it called? Does HHBB add those? Because if so, that would be I bet it would be in there. So as that inconsequential NPCs guy, you're leaving him as is with kicking out Khajiit. Yeah, I do believe he does kick out Khajiit, Charmbarian. If so, that actually is a feature that I wanted in there because there are different ways to get into the city. This is like where the whole kind of like climbing on things or having the open cities world space, comes into play. Also, what is it called? Skyrim sewers, right? Where you can like sneak in different ways. I thought that would be pretty fun. Alright, we'll basically just walk around at night, I suppose. That's important to test as well. I love... Yeah, or it's just like getting, I don't know, it's like unique treatment. I think that it sucks, right? Like if you're a Khajiit, you want to go to Windhelm, especially in a circumstance where there's like survival, right? Let's say it's Gotcha, Charmbarian. Oh, so if you're a Khajiit, they won't even let you in the city at all, which could be cool. It really just depends. I'd have to kind of like play test it. Angus Mill. Not sure how I feel about this particular model. It's like decent. Not my favorite. It's kind of hard to tell what it would really look like because the aurora lighting makes things a bit different. And then we have this. There are a couple... I think these ground textures are Amidian born, and I think that they have like more, what's the word? It does not look bad, but I think they look wet a lot of the time when they're not supposed to. I think that is actually like a bug. I'm not sure if that's happening here or if this is just like, by design. It's funny that only the Khajiit are the ones barred entry. I guess it makes sense. People are pretty mean to Khajiit. There's a lot of like in-game dialogue about it, right? Isn't that like Miss Lady's whole shtick in Whiterun? What is her name? Everyone's favorite. Oh my, Ysolda. Yeah, it does look like muddy ground. It looks really good if, you know, you kind of, if it's supposed to be wet. I just feel like it looks like that, like, all the time. Like, here's a good example. I'll make a quick save. Right. That's right, Charmbarian. All right, let me go to Ember Shard Mine Exterior 01. Yeah, Ysolda might be a furry. She's at the very least interested in the economic opportunity that her Khajiit friends have brought to the city. So there's so many like little... You guys, as you might imagine, I have spoken to a lot of NPCs over the course of, you know, trying to figure out everyone's appearances. So I've gotten to listen to a lot of like the dialogue and little stories that are just kind of sprinkled throughout the game, and it's really cool if you ask me. There's a lot of like attention to detail. Hello, Lonnie and Odessa and Murdoch. Sup, y'all? Here, let's go over. Give her a tiger onesie. We ought to. We'll just like kind of place a reference. Like we'll place a folded version of it like in her house. Once you know what happens. Oh yeah, here. Let me try that, Sacroletius. So yeah, this right here, right? So I don't think it's supposed to have rained. You can see, I mean, like this ground over here kind of has an excuse because it's so close to the water, right? So maybe that's why. You know what? That's probably it. So this one, maybe this is a bad example. Oh, you know what? There's another one up the road that we can use, maybe to check and see if it's still an issue. Do I have God mode enabled? Okay, I didn't. I definitely ought to. Oops. I think that texture is by design because it's supposed to be like, that's like the wet riverbed texture, right? But we definitely don't want that happening in locations where it's not supposed to be wet. These ones definitely, Esquire. I think that the shape of these stones is supposed to kind of imply that, you know, these are roads that have been relatively heavily traveled. This is where I wanted to check. Oh, he sees me already. Why don't we... Here, let's fight these guys, like, legitimately. And by legitimately, I mean with God mode skills. Nope, this way. It's gonna make me throw up. Block, two-handed, one-handed. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. About the extended UI. It's cool for sure. Oh, well, I actually meant to make a regular save, and I specifically didn't want to make a quick save, but that's okay. Yeah, so here you can see, I think it is still an issue. Hello.
Never should have come here.
Uh-oh, don't shoot me. Watch this. Damn it, she got her guard back up. Well, remember that I have about infinite stamina, so this is not a fair fight. Also, I'm invincible, so doubly not a fair fight. And then that person's... Oh, but her stamina's almost gone. That's going to help me. If I can squeeze... Haha! That's exactly what we wanted, although that probably would have killed me, to be honest. Oh, and I'm now put myself between two combatants. Whoop! Gotcha. Where's your friend? You're dead. Oh. Alright, now you're mine. Can I make it in time? I think I can. Oh, I missed. That's not good. And now he's got his dagger out. That's okay. You're dead. Hey. We killed him. And we totally didn't cheat in any way, shape, or form, right? Oh, it's an interesting idea, Derpius Kitty. So yeah, you can see the issue here. It's unfortunate. I wonder, this is an interesting texture painting. There's a really cool resource for like figuring out, I think that's just probably like Dirt 01. Oh, it's the shadow. That's what's doing that. I was wondering. The issue is I really like Amidian-Born's textures, right? And I know that there's like a simple fix for this. I just don't remember what it is. So what I will do is I will take a screenshot. I will make a note of it. Be like wet ground textures? Question mark. Wet ground textures. And now we'll remember that that is something we need to fix. Oh, it's getting foggy. It's getting a little spooky. And I guess we'll just continue on our way, right? I mean, I should probably make it daytime pretty quick here. But it's important to test at all times of day and all different weathers. This is like the fun part. This is where I can probably, I'm not in like the full-on testing mode, right? Because I really do need to get those MCMs sorted. I would consider that like the absolute highest priority task at the moment. But once I start doing this sort of testing, I'll probably be streaming a lot more at that point even, right? I'll be experimenting with some new streaming time slots. And once I release, I will probably convert those time slots into actual gameplay. So, you know, look, it's Tallscar the Wanderer. That'll be fun, I think. Yeah, Derpius Kitty. That actually, as it turns out, I already had the Obsidian add-on when we were talking about it. I went after that stream, was like, oh yeah, let me make sure I get that Obsidian weather add-on, and we were already running it. So, there you go. Yes, daily 6-hour streams. That's my boy Eric, for anyone who doesn't know. Pickle Tickle. Everyone bombard him with hellos. Random question. Besides Requiem, is there a mod that modifies all values of armors, weapons, HP, monsters? Bambi, to be honest. Thank you for the follow, Nocturane. That's the Lord's Day. I'm sure that there is, Bambi. I know that there are mods that attempt to do it. The thing is, compatible with almost every mod? Probably not. It depends on how they're editing these things, but, you know, like, what Requiem does in order to maintain its compatibility is it has the rectificator patcher, right? So as long as a weapon is balanced for vanilla, Requiem will make its changes that it needs to make to, like, damage values through its patch instead of editing the base records themselves, and that's how it maintains, you know, compatibility. Any mod that you were running that you were hoping for a similar level of compatibility, you would need to have some sort of mechanism by which that happens. I know that there's all kinds of crazy stuff happening in like the patcher scene and like with synthesis. That is not my area of expertise. But so like, I guess the short answer is maybe. Perhaps a good question to ask would be like, what are you trying to do? What sort of like end result are you looking for? And then that might allow everyone to give a more pertinent answer. I did see that, Sacroletti, we were talking about it. We got to get the Shirley Curry mod. She really does seem like such a sweetheart. And I saw, this was like months ago on Twitter. I was so proud. There was like, she made like a post basically being like, hey, backseat gamers, take a step back. I'm going to play the game the way that I want to. So I presumed, you know, that there were some backseat gamers trying to tell her how to play the game, and I thought that was so badass. I was like, damn, she's even better at dealing with like like trolls and stuff than other YouTubers. Go Skyrim Grandma. Okay, this particular reference I would like to move. We'll call it 5CA45. 5CA45. Tree in road. Balance for vanilla. Helgen Reborn, there's a weapon with 10,000 damage. My god. Yeah, saying balance for vanilla is kind of a misnomer, I suppose, right? Because vanilla's balance is, are these being moved? Base last change. No, not the base, but the individual reference. Weird. Okay. This one too. Resist rant about TES6. Sacroletius, you know this is a safe place. You can go on whatever rant you like, if you like. Yeah, I mean, vanilla it's balance. I say balance is kind of a misnomer because it's a scaled game where the balance, really just revolves around the player. Balancing in that sense then becomes a very kind of wonky proposition where like anything can be balanced in a sense because nothing is, if that makes sense. I can elaborate. Say also, what is this one called? 5CA63. 5CA63. See, these are like, the most minuscule of edits, but it's nice to kind of sweep them up. If you can. Vanilla is as balanced as an elephant on a broken ladder. That is a very... Whoa. Ooh, interesting. Okay, that's actually a bug of sorts. I know there's like birds flying out of tree particle is not properly like flagged for lighting. Birds from tree animation. Now that I don't know how able I will be to fix something like this. Animations and like particle effects are not my area of expertise. We'll say grass offshoots not properly lit. That could be something as simple as like flagging the animation. It could be, I'm assuming without the you can tell it's not covered by the ENV particle patch for sure. Mihail's Guar mod. What's the deal there? Wow, that's kind of crazy. Look, without ENB, I think that still looks quite nice. You can tell that the lighting is a bit weird between dynamic volumetric sun shadows and I'm sure cathedral weathers, where like it's clearly not designed, like the game's not designed to be played without an ENB here. Uh-oh. What's that? But I don't think it looks bad, and you can see the performance improvement for sure. I definitely prefer the look of this though. Yeah, what I mean? CT, are you a Guar fan? Like the band? What is Mihail's Guar mod? I know how to fix CTDs in Trequin Bastion north of Falkreath. Oh my god! Oh my... That scared the shit out of me, dude. Oh my god. Oh, that spooked me. Whoa. Whoa, whoa! I'm dodging. I would be probably dead. Holy fuck. Just insane mages. Don't walk around at night. It's dangerous. Out on the roads. What the fuck, dude? I can hear him. I think he's got a flame cloak, too. Oh. Yes, he does. Okay, that's dangerous. Whew.
I'll end your miserable life.
Please don't. I know I have God mode on, but I'm trying to play as though I don't. I'm gonna sneak around this way. Guar is awesome, CT. I call myself a fan, not in the sense that I don't like them. I think they're awesome. I think that, I've not really listened to that much of their stuff. The only reason I even know about it is because when I was in college, my roommate at the time, these are big mud crabs. My roommate, leave me alone, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your life. My roommate had to write an article on them or something, or maybe he was like covering them for his radio show, and so we got tickets to go and see them in Ventura, and it was so cool. It was like the wildest band. Yeah, I think they're called Guar, right? Am I wrong, everyone? Oh, I mean, I love Guars from Morrowind. I'm thinking of a band. I'm pretty sure they're called... If you've never heard of it, it's like the craziest show. It's like a metal band, but they're a big part of their like shows is like theatrics and like practical effects. So there's all this like blood and gore and stuff, and like if you're in the front rows, you were like guaranteed to get sprayed with like fake blood. They have these crazy like monster costumes. It's nuts. I think that's what they're called. Let me double check. No, not Kiss. Kiss is like, I wonder if that was like the progeneration of Juggalos. Kiss. Gwar band. Okay, so it is Gwar, but it's spelled Gwar. Here, I'll show you. Here. Band. This is what they look like. It's like the craziest thing you've ever seen. Drive-in Richmond concert. I need a bigger image. Like this, right? It was just so wild. I've never seen anything like it before or since, and it was a really good time. I thought you might be talking about this band. Yes. This Gwar. Hello, Tayson. How you doing? Isn't this the craziest thing? Like, it's like, what the hell am I looking at? And there's like so many crazy videos of their shows. It was a very cool experience to get. What is that? The mud crabs are coming. Look at them. They're stalking through the trees after me. Oh, here's a horse. Let's oh no. I rammed him by accident. Look out. I can hear that mud crab. I'm sorry, mud crabs. Wow, they take no prisoners. They neither forgive nor forget. Hello. Alright, so what do I need to do here? Sacriletius, I take this horse to the river and get on the horse when it is in the water? What's up, y'all? Are you seriously out here drinking in the middle of the night? What are you doing? There's trouble.
Huh?
Help me, please.
Not my problem.
Hail, friend. It's good to see another merry soul.
Bro,
enjoying this
you're being
fine day.
intersected by a plant.
Need something?
Nah, I'm good.
Aye.
I'll see it. Wait, where'd the horse? No, my horse. Come back. That's fair. Try and bury in. But I bet you don't do it like in the wilderness where dangerous mud crabs are stalking through the forest. Maybe you do. I've definitely drank in the forest before at night, so maybe I shouldn't. Maybe people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. You would lose that bet. Fair enough. Fair enough. I understand. Horse, come back, please. Don't let them pinch your toes. Ah, God. Oh, my God. I was not paying attention. These mud crabs. Okay, I understand. Wow, he's like cutting me off at the pass, too. You guys are crazy. Oh, I can see. That's kind of an issue. I don't really know what to do about that. An issue with my camera preset. When I get on the horse. Well, actually, you know what? I bet you I can fix that. I think the reason that's happening is because of a setting change that I made. So I'll write that down. That qualifies as a bug. Let me see. I'll say mounting camera doesn't reset position, so it clips with the horse. Perfect. Got it. Time is it? Oh my God, how is it already 2:30? Time flies when you're having fun, y'all. It is true. This has been a fun stream. They're getting smarter. It seems that way, doesn't it? Doesn't it seem like they're making plans and executing them? Okay, dismount, remount the horse in deep water. How deep are we talking here, Sacriletius? You talking like swimming? Like where we're both swimming? Having trouble with my Dindulots recently getting crashes. I'm doing a combination of speed trees, Jedi trees. Yeah, so Tayson, I was talking about this earlier. I don't know if you've encountered the same issue, but speed trees, I've noticed that the... wow, it's kind of crazy. This is where we were when the stream started. We've come full circle, everybody. Speed trees, the models are unloading. They're like occlusion culling for me at the edges of my screen. and that was causing like shadows to disappear as well, right? And I was trying to figure out the solution. I couldn't figure it out on my own. Someone mentioned on the Wabbajack Discord that it might be because the author Elwops was trying to get kind of fancy with like loading in higher quality models as you like approach. Look at this horse waiting in place. Okay, so I'm gonna get off. I'm in the... Alright. Climb up the horse. And then... Oh yeah, it's like it's walking on the ground. And also the RAS shaders are going ham, which is funny. Wow, look at this. It's as if I'm not quite walking on water, but very close. That's funny. I did, Barian. It actually, lowering the field of view, the problem persisted, but it did like correct itself. So I can tell that the field of view, like, either increasing or decreasing. It's like the occlusion is still happening, but it's not happening like, you know, it's still happening in the appropriate place no matter... Whoa, am I like floating in the river here? Is this like the current's this strong? The issue, I think, is that it's happening at all because essentially you will... I noticed it because I noticed the shadows like going in and out. When I was like moving around in the forest, there would be, you know, big trees kind of behind me that are casting shadows that I should still be able to see, and the shadows are essentially like flickering. I can show you what it looks like on stream really fast. Why not, right? Unfortunately, that means that I cannot run them for the first build. Ugh, the lens effects. It reminds me, you know, like the lens water effects remind me of like the corrupted GIFs, you know, like the ones that'll like slowly kind of warble like out of scope. That's awesome you fixed that, Sacriladius. I would love to grab that fix at some point. In fact, you know what? Here, write that down as a bug. Why not? Say Sacriladius fix. Mounting horse in water broken. So I will remember that one, and just really fast let me I'll make a save here, and then I will restart the game with speed trees enabled. It's a real shame because they are beautiful. Shadows probably aren't an issue without. Yes, I think that's the case, Derpius. Of course, like the beauty of DVL ASS. I also just noticed that ass isn't that word, which is funny to me because I'm immature. It's so, like that mod. One of the coolest things about it is like the way that you can have these distant shadows still kind of cast across the ground from trees and the mountains. So I really would like. I would prefer to keep DVL ASS if I had to choose between. Okay. Oh, I wanted to try this Labrador replacer really fast. And then, okay, at the same time, let's test... I want this Labrador replacer. I wanted to test racial body morphs. Let's see what racial body... That's actually going to break my game. I'm not going to be able to test racial body morphs. Requiem is going to get mad at me. Or wait. No, it won't actually, because there's... Oh, no, there's a plugin. Okay, then where's the plugin at? Wait, what? Oh, I'm sorted by... Okay, that's why. I'm like, what the H? Okay, well, if I try and run this, Requiem's probably going to yell at me and not let me run the game. We can try. Why don't we just try? I think it will, though. I think it's not going to let me play. Yeah, I'm very curious what you did to fix it. You and me both. I'm more of a script kiddie than you are, that's for sure. I would say. I'm pretty sure. I am curious. I also saw, Sacriladius, that you published that article on the differences between Buvarp and Warp. I appreciated that, because now I feel like I understand it much better. Hello, Monique. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Come on, Skyrim. Still, Coffee dregs. Still something. Oh. Very much dregs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all absolute craziness to me. Barry. I actually got to speak with the engine wizards on the reverse engineering Discord the other day about a couple ideas. Is magic effect on the player. It starts running when they're swimming. Registers your animation events, mounting at force of swimming. Ah, so you're basically forcing the proper animation to play based on the conditions that you know are going to be executed or met when the player is in this circumstance. Nice plot. Yeah, that would be my next question. I mean, yeah, Sacroleus. I can't, off the top of my head, think of, like, I think it would be fine, right? I'm trying to think of an instance that might cause problems with that. What about using the quick dismount from Immersive Horses Sacroleus? Do you think that might cause issues? Because instead of doing the standard dismount animation, I swear it just kind of like pops you off the horse and like throws you back a few feet. So that might not trigger the if you're relying on the dismount animation in some way, then it would it might cause a problem, I could see. SSE engine fix it. Oopsie. Raising the file handle limit to 2048. Oh. What file handle limit? What exactly is that, Barian? I enabled speed trees, right? I think I did. There we go. Oh no. FLP. What is FLP praxis? That's not ringing any bells for me. That's unfortunate about the RE Discord, Sacroleus. I had weird. You only enabled racial body morphs. My memory is absolute. Nope, there it is. We can see it. Yours and mine both, Derpius, which is why I ask. All right, is it gonna get mad at me? Is Requiem? First of all, we gotta get rid of this. Maybe it's not getting mad at me yet, or maybe if I like leave it alone. Character and NPC vision. No, thank you. I'm just gonna get rid of all these for right now, for testing purposes. Give it a second to kick in. There we are. So I can see that my high elf mesh has definitely been changed. I look a lot lankier and taller. How about my... Oh, excuse me. No, please don't run away. I love you, please. And it looks like I'm a bit taller on horseback, too. Okay, that's what I thought you were talking about, Barian. Oh, wait. No. Actually... Gotcha. Okay. Oh, no. Yeah, Halgari, I also don't like to merge plugins just because it can get messy, like, pretty quickly when it comes to, like, updating things. And also, like, for me, I almost rely on plugins as, like, a form of documentation, right? Where it's, like... I just ran into issues with Legendary Edition where I would merge plugins and then have, like, various edits that I didn't have documentation on where they were sourced. But I think it's pretty likely that at some point I'm going to end up having to merge plugins. Okay, so you can see the issue here. This is... I did not know that SKSE plugins count. That's crazy. Spawn a Feindal, we'll know if it worked. Okay. Why am I in caps? Help. Feindal.
What do you need?
Here he is, little guy. So I think basically now the choice between FK's diverse racial skeletons and racial body morphs is like which mod's proportions do you prefer? It looks like they are functionally the same. So now punch him. I'm going to leave him alone because I don't want the AI. Here, I'll punch him. I'll do this. This is cheating. Watch this. Oops. Nope. That wasn't what I wanted either. I want to get rid of my... Now I can do this. Oh, I missed my right hook. Oh, someone else saw me. Now if I go like this, what happens?
Last mistake.
Oh, no. He's still... He remembers. Oops. Well. Here's what I'm going to do then. Hey. Don't report me to the authorities. Oh, yeah. Here's another weird bit from Speed Trees. Hold on. Kill. Blah. And then, now what are you going to do, brother? Watch this. Oh. Is he over here? Whoa. Oh, boy. Hey. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to punch you in your face.
That's it? That's all you got?
Nope. I'm going to punch you hard. Oh. Kill animation that doesn't work because of... What's it called? I don't know if that counts as me killing all the witnesses. It didn't say so, so I'm going to assume not. Oops. 500 septims for one punch. Yeah, I thought this was Skyrim. I thought that we fist fights. But, you know, not everyone wants to fist fight. That is technically assault. Huh. So, Sacrilegious, are you planning to continue expanding Boovarp and then Warp is just going to kind of stay where it is? What's your plans there, out of curiosity? I know, I'm sorry. Feindal, he's aight, if you don't mind a fuckboy. Same way with Sven, right? Okay, so I can show you guys. You can probably even see it, like, at night here. But, like, watch this tree to my right. Maybe, was it doing it with that one? We need to find one. One of them was doing it. Oh, here we go. Okay. So you can see that we can't see which tree is despawning, really. But there's probably like one of these over here. Moving it to the very edge of the screen. You can see another one just did. Going like this is despawning the tree. And that is also, of course, despawning the shadow. So the issue here, in fact, we'll do this. I did read the article, Sacrilegious. I can't remember if the, like, what you were planning to do. Game hour to, let's call it 9. No, 10. It's 10. And then we will clear up the fog. So you can see, just like this. It is occlusion culling. At least that's, I guess it's culling for sure. I'm not sure what the specific method is. But I don't know why it's doing it. And I couldn't, like, I'm not like a mesh or a model expert by any means. I went digging around in the mesh to see if I could kind of suss out what was going on or see if I could adjust any, like, flags to make it work properly. But I couldn't figure it out, unfortunately. Gotcha, Sacrilegious. I wasn't sure if you and the person who made Warp were, like, still collaborating or anything of that sort. That makes sense to me. Can confirm it has to do with flags. Do you know specifically what is causing it, Last Fair? I would really love to use speed trees. I think they're quite beautiful. But that is, like, you can see it happening right here too. It's like the shadows are going kind of nuts. If I can figure out how to fix it, I would probably still use these, but in their current state, unfortunately, I don't think that it's usable. It's just too, at least for me personally, I find it too distracting. Like so. And now we get to test the beautiful Labrador mod. Okay, help dog. Dog probably will do it. Probably these all use the default model, I would guess, but that one definitely does. 23892, not 52. Should usually be much higher detail, but it definitely won't be done in time. That's no problem, Varian. This is we can always iteratively build on top, of course. Oh my gosh!
Stupid dog.
It's so cute. The animation's a little weird, but I think in general it looks pretty good. I think it's better than the OG dog model. He's beautiful. I found, see, there's the shadows. You can see it. Also, we can see the racial body morphs as well. That's a Nord, I'm pretty sure. Odessa. Look at this hulking orc man. Could split you in two with his arms. Yeah, it's really cool. So I found this. It's actually not on the Nexus, but I found this in... There was a thread the other day where people were just... yeah, the orcs are very... they're hefty boys. It was just like a thread of like obscure mods that people haven't heard of, right? And I found this one in that thread and was like, oh my god, it's beautiful. There's even other options too. There's like a golden lab, there's a black lab, and like some other ones as well. Can also confirm the issue's been fixed, but not sure if the updated version will be available for download. F update budget to 0. Oh, interesting, Last Pharaoh. What other... Does F update budget to 0, does that cause... like, what does that do exactly? I'm afraid that... Is that going to stop any sort of occlusion culling from happening? Because I know that occlusion culling is very important for, you know, performance's sake. Right? And in Resi, I am pretty on board with using Vigilance and Miko Reborn. Oh, that's right. They're mad at me because I'm an assaulter. I'm sorry. Wait, just take me to jail. Hey, it's Flora the Mary. He's our friend from before. What Skyrim needs? Slow groom poodles with ribbons in the wild. Of course. Disable tree animations isn't a huge deal since almost none of the speed trees have animation to begin with. Ah, I understand. Thank you for that info. Let me write that down. Thank you, Last Pharaoh. Where's my little thing? Say, whoa, my god. I've dropped my pen. Ow. Who's that floating next to me like a weirdo? Okay, it was F update budget to 0. What is that sound? Is it footsteps? What's up, bruh?
Good morning.
Good morning. It's a good morning to be a prisoner, is it not? Oh. So it's in the trees section. Yeah, I don't want to drop this pen. This is a pen that I got in Hawaii for Liz and I's anniversary. That was, or not anniversary, sorry, our, well, pseudo honeymoon. We had like a 4-day honeymoon right after we got married. This was November 2019. And we were supposed to go on a longer honeymoon this last year. But as most of us know, there wasn't a whole lot of travel happening last year. So hopefully we'll get to do that soon. But this is my pen, my Hawaii pen. Okay, so it should be, let me specifically note in trees. Because I do not think, I agree, I should not be messing with the papyrus any section. I think that is a bit pseudo honeymoon. So treacle moon, what does that mean? So I want wind animals to not be disabled. Yeah, I mean the speed tree, it doesn't really look like there's a lot of animations to them. We can go and check right now to see what we'd be missing out on. I was so surprised the other day. I had to load up like a vanilla profile, right? And obviously with vanilla, the tree animations are still in place. And I was like, oh, like I forgot what it is to have the trees be animated. It's pretty cool. Treacle's not quite honey. I understand. Unfortunately, I had no idea what that was, so it went right over my head, but it was a good joke. It was a good joke if I understood the meaning. Hello, Alan. The game looks like it's kind of freaking out right now. Where is it trying to load? Oh, wait, no, I think we're good. Maybe. What's with the shadows? Did we break something? This load screen is like way longer than it should be. Where's it trying to put me? Falkreath? Should just be like Falkreath exterior. Maybe it's having a hard time loading the cell. Maybe we've broken the game. Syrup Moon. Yes, of course. Yeah, no scripts, no script lag. No sweat. No problem. What is happening here? Oh, nope, there we go. Just was taking a long time to load, I guess. Here's our beautiful speed trees. Well, they do look very nice. They seem a bit performance intensive. I would probably need to test that more. And on this particular model is like a bit too vanilla for my taste, but it's pretty good. In general, I think they're quite beautiful. So it would be really nice to be able to at least have the option of using them if we prefer, right? Last Pharaoh, when did you, if you're still around, where did you hear about there being a further updated version of speed trees? Because that would be real nice. Again, I don't want to spend a ton of time on trees just because I know all these modders are working on it at the moment. Like I know that Tater of Majestic Mountains fame is working on one as well, right? And I'm sure that's promising. But I do like speed trees a lot. I think that they're, in general, very, very nice and fit very well with like the rest of the art design that we have going here. So it would be pretty cool to have the option of using them. Someone asked what interior lighting you were using, by the way. On that topic, I'll ask. Yeah, so right now I'm using just realistic lighting overhaul and ELE, kind of like the classic, baseline is what I like to call it. Lux does look super, super cool. I would very much like to overhaul interior lighting and kind of, it's obviously that's another space in which there's a lot of crazy stuff happening. I'd say primarily because of mods like Lux and because of like, what's the window lighting one? Maybe Lux has that covered now, but there was like a separate one. Yeah, window shadows. So that all seems extremely promising to me, and I would very much like to revisit that. It just wasn't within the scope of the current. I know that there's like a lot that you have to do in order to patch things properly. I think Lux is supposed to be, this is weird, I don't know why this is here. I think it's supposed to be like a kind of an all-in-one solution for Windows, or for interior Windows. I'm in super secret discords. I understand. Another lady fixed the trees and shadows disappearing. It also disabled collisions, so we're trying to find a fix for that. I understand. Know about the permissions for all this. That is true. Like it's a good point that I don't even know if, let's say, even if I just decided to go with speed trees like as it is right now, I don't even know that we'd have the permissions to distribute it. So I would need to. I actually asked on the Cathedral Discord and didn't get a reply. So it's tricky. That is a good point that I kind of forgot about. Let me make a note to disable these as well. And I think it's about that time. Let me write these down. Was there anything else we were going to check? That was everything we were going to check, right? Oh, no. Yeah, God, I wish so. Well, first of all, I wanted to reply Barian's comment earlier about releasing a proper native SDK instead of Papyrus. That, to me, like, I'm not even a coder. Just knowing what would be possible if that happened, that would be, like, so fantastic. I would love that. And also, I just wish so badly that we could fix that for lighting. For light limitation, I guess you would call it. No, it is not on the Nexus Halgari. It's kind of it's like how, not quite how Jedi Trees was, but similar in the sense that you can only get it through like Discords and people kind of like handing it off to you. So we don't know like what the permissions are. Okay, I will do that, Last Pharaoh. I definitely would be more comfortable if I can get an answer directly from LWOPS, I think. Yeah, well, implementing a custom SDK now, it's more like, man, how cool would it be if like Elder Scrolls 6 from a baseline state or like shortly after release, that were the case, right? Like then it would just be, I just imagine like the doors it would open for modders. Okay. Fences disable. What is this one? 4A585. You are 4A586. This one is 4578. And is that all of them? I think so. Oh, one more. 4583. Perfect. Whoa. Yeah, Barian, if you could fix the 4, I think whoever fixes the 4 light limit will instantaneously become legend in the Skyrim modding community. I have to assume that it's just that difficult to fix it, right? Because otherwise, like, why hasn't it been fixed yet? With all the crazy stuff that I know, like the reverse engineer wizards like Ryan or Meh have done, it seems to me that if it were like relatively straightforward or possible, it would have been done already. But that's just an assumption. It's speculation. I don't know for sure. Yeah, if you do manage to fix it though, like, man, the entire community would just be like, charmed Barian. All right, y'all, well, it's about that time. I have to eat some lunch. And also I have to pee really bad. TMI. But thank you for joining me for the stream. I hope that it was as fun for you as it was for me. I really did enjoy this one. You really change class, hook a function, call site or branch. It's like, yes, I know some of those words. I understand completely. Of course. Let me check and see who there is to raid. Anyway, I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but my plan for this week is to try and get through as many MCMs as possible. I will probably be testing and cleaning things up like a lot more too. So I don't know if I'll introduce more streams this week. I might. Probably if and when I decide to add more stream like time slots, I will post about it on Twitter, Discord, Reddit, all the usual places. Oh yeah, I know. I will not really say much on the Distar Reddit drama, so much to say that I know that it exists, and I remember seeing some of the posts. I will say that I could tell that they were very frustrated at not receiving, kind of like help on like the animations and stuff, which I understand. I don't know if I think it's a tough situation if you ever expect that people will come and like do stuff, which kind of seemed to be the case. I just remember when I read the first, I had to reread that post like several times because I could not understand like what the issue was or like what I don't know. It was just very like the tone of it was so wild. But I also like Distar's done a lot of really cool animation stuff, so I'm very grateful for that. Well, Leaky Lou, I'm sorry that you missed this one mostly, but it's nice to remake your acquaintance. What was your, if you don't have to share with me, of course, but what was your old username? I might remember. Twitch. Let's see. Who is streaming? Pause so I don't have to listen to myself. Pause. Oh. Well, so there's like these streamers, right, who are they're speedrunners. They have no idea who I am, so I feel a little bit weird like rating them, but like if there's anyone that I would feel comfortable rating, it would be this person, Covert Muffin. For those of you who don't know, this streamer has to be one of the most wholesome streamers I've like ever encountered. Really, really nice guy, and I don't know. Oh, we need that Halgari. I need to plug into the hot tub meta. There's where the real money is at. We got to, but that's not against terms of service for Bethesda, right? If I do a hot tub stream to help create some runway for Ultimate Skyrim, right? Yeah, Covert Muffin is the best, right? So I'm going to raid Covert Muffin. If y'all are interested, it looks like he's streaming Ori and the Blind Forest. That game is awesome. He's a really wholesome streamer. In any case, thank you all for joining me. Please stick around if you are interested. Covert Muffin. And it'll be probably pretty awkward because I've never raided him before. So I'll be like, hey, what's up, dude? Seen your streams, seen your speedruns on YouTube. Really like it. Also, here's some of my friends come to raid your stream. It'll be good, I'm sure. Yeah, just a couple modding bros chilling in the hot tub, of course. All right, here we go. Thanks for watching, y'all. I will see you at the very least at the same time next week on Monday. I promise I will post in when I'm going to be adding those additional slots so you can try and make those as well. And thank you for joining me. So I hope everyone has a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.